What do you need for like 6,000 bit rate? Probably like the fastest internet possible.
I think it's more about the upload than the download.
I don't even know what the hell that means.
Typically, like what people consider good internet is like 500 down, but they don't realize that upload is just as important, especially if you're streaming. I'm sure Bruce Show knows much more about this than I do, but
It's not glitching yet.
I usually just like do whatever. Like I don't change anything. I just do, but I don't do it through like stream elements or whatever. I just do it through YouTube.
Because you got to keep in mind, CH, what you're doing is uploading data, and what 99.9% of people do on the internet is just download data. But you're like putting things, you're sending it the opposite way.
Maybe this is what we're doing tonight. Maybe we're just going to figure this out on the fly. Maybe this is the best way to do it.
You got to keep in mind, CH, what you're doing is uploading data. Oh, I hate hearing my own voice.
Join the club. Are we good?
My voice sucks.
How's the stream health looking?
Okay, stream health. I don't see a glitch so far.
That audio came through fine.
Okay, let's go back to this. It says we're live. Let's go. Okay, it says connection. Excellent. What does that mean? Okay, we have
good.
sound. It's not lagging anymore.
Video's working too.
Okay, so I think that's the name of the game. Can you hear me?
We did it.
I think the name of the game is to turn the bit rate down, and it's going to pull away from the video quality. But that way we get the audio and the lag. Yeah?
We'll see. We'll run it.
Dude,
it's perfect.
Perfect. Let's fucking cook. Much love. Thank you for everybody.
That's funny.
Let's go.
Let's cook. What's up, Sage? What's up, TX? I think it's back. Much love, Bruce. Thanks, everybody. So yeah, from the championship games on Sunday, both games were Sunday. I hit everything, Saquon, and everything else on the Washington Redskins. I had Zach Ernst over like 40 yards receiving. It was all player props, like what their over under was for like receptions or yards. And I went to the like 9 out of 10, and I had Josh Allen had to hit 40 yards rushing. Josh Allen had to hit 40 yards rushing. And if he hit 40, I was going to win $2,100. Guess how many he ran for?
39.
He ran for 39. And not only that, but I went back and I looked at the call when he got stuffed on that fourth down, and that was bullshit. That was clearly a first down. Not only that, but John Boy broke it down, John Boy Media. The play before that was a first down. So I don't know how these fucking Chiefs fans feel like good about this. I wouldn't feel good about this at all. I was biased because I was betting on this. But I remember when the Chiefs played the Eagles in the first Super Bowl like 2 or 3 years ago, that defensive holding call, remember that when they it was like 38-38, a minute left to go, and Patrick Mahomes had a guy, a receiver come out, I think it was like a Wes Welker position guy, come out, do like a 5-yard out, and then just run up, and they called a defensive holding on that, and the guy barely grazed him. I was like, how would you feel like good about this? And I kind of wanted to talk to Noam about this because Noam's a big Tom Brady fan, and I still kind of have mixed reviews on the whole like hatred for Tom Brady, but I do get it. I do kind of get like the Deflategate thing and this and that. But Troy Aikman's also said, hey, before every game, I would grab 10 balls, and which one I like the most, I'd play with that one. Like, is that cheating? No, it's not cheating. Baseball players look at balls, they don't like it, they throw it, and they give it away. But just to like give people bad spots and call like defensive hold, like it's so blatant with the Chiefs, and anybody who's like, no, that was legit or it goes both far, it's like, you're fucking wrong. You're just wrong. I get it. Patrick Mahomes is the new LeBron James or the Michael Jordan. He is the poster child. I understand that views relate to money. I understand that every time that they showed Taylor Swift, that there's millions of people watching that just to see what she's wearing that don't care about the game. I understand that these views add up to a significant, more money than watching the Chargers play the fucking Reds or the Cardinals or whatever. But like, dude, there's straight up like Jimmy rigging game. It's not like a Hollywood rig where like Mahomes is going to throw a game or this guy. It's not like that. The refs just know like where to spot the ball and where to call the stuff where it's subjective. That goes the Chiefs' favor. And you're watching, you're like, I wouldn't feel good about this if this was my team. I wouldn't. I know a lot of people are like, yeah, like, neener. But like, It's weird the way that they're winning. It's just fucking weird.
I saw a stat where it was something ridiculous, like 90% less penalties than the other team in their last 8 playoff games. Which maybe they're disciplined. Maybe they're just like, not committing penalties, or the refs aren't seeing it. Because there was some like obvious,
that's
you see
weird,
you see the face mask. Even Tony Romo was like, "We see it from up here."
Yeah.
It's like, how did that not get called? There was a couple plays in that game.
They could have won that game though.
Yeah, I agree with Ron Barnes actually. Play better so it doesn't come to the refs.
I understand that.
as well.
I understand that. I agree with that with the UFC too. And Dana White's always said that too. Like if it's a 5-round fight and you lose by decision, you had 5 rounds to knock him out. If you were really the best fighter, you should have just knocked his ass out. I agree with that. And I really didn't look at anything except for like the John Boy breakdown. I really like John Boy. For those who don't watch his channel, he's hilarious. He just breaks down. It's primarily baseball, people getting ejected or, bad strikes and bad stuff like that. But the whole thing that's so silly about football is why don't they just put a chip in the ball already? The way that they just spot the ball, it's like that could have gone any way on any play. That could have gone like a 1.5 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know you see it in like tennis when they do like the
tennis has got it perfect. Tennis has got it figured out. Tennis nailed it. They hit a home run on it. And with all the technology and the slow motion and all this shit we do now, and some stuff still goes to the box and they botch it. And how could you not think that this game, I'm not saying the players are in on it. I'm saying the refs are in on it with how like every fucking ad that shows up now is like FanDuel or DraftKings. So, if Lamar Jackson throws 200 yards, it's like, why are they talking about gambling so much? You don't think the refs are in on this at a certain point? Of course they are. They just haven't been busted yet, like that Tim Donaghy guy from the NBA. That
basketball. Yep. Yeah.
Well, basketball and football are very similar. With like, it could kind of be a penalty on any play, right? Like it could kind of be called every single time.
Yeah, holding on pretty much every play.
Every single play.
Yeah.
So it's the easiest sport to ref. Like if you're a home plate umpire and the guy throws the ball in the dirt, and you call it a strike, like, you don't get that much leeway. But I just don't know, man. I don't know how these Kansas City Chiefs fans feel good about getting some of these calls. Unless I would love to see it. There's two sides to every story. Maybe the Bills got some calls, but whoever in the chat said that don't leave it up to the refs was right. I remember watching that one play with that tight end Kincaid. The Chiefs had a hell of a defensive strategy on that 4th down when they blitzed the corner, and Josh Allen just kind of had to throw it up, but it still hit the tight end and he dove for it and he dropped it. It's like, dude, I've seen high school kids make that play 1,000 times, so.
M. Hammond says they do use a chip, but not in terms of like placement.
Well, you'd also have to put a chip in like their elbows and their knee. Like how do you do that?
The field itself would have to have some sort of like, Here's the interesting thing. So like,
what's up? That's my Johnson. But no, there is a lot of people now, and I'm one of them. Everyone's like, "Oh, the game is rigged. The game is rigged." I was like, "It's not rigged. It's too hard to rig." But the way you can rig it is like spotting the balls and just giving people penalties. Like you're not going to pay a player to like, hey, I want you to throw it like 10 times out of bounds. Like that's not going to happen.
Yeah. I forgot who. Man. I watched like a reaction video. So he's like, yeah, and it's true too. Like when they spot the ball, and sometimes like when they're against the clock, it's very, very like fast. There's not like, all right, hold on, let's get this right. It's like,
yeah,
I think we're here.
Yeah. And did you see? and the two guys that come in, the line guys, they'll run in to get the ball. Sometimes they're on like different lines. So say this is like the 20-yard line. This guy will be here and this guy will be here. And they run in like that. And whoever they throw the ball to, like that's where it goes. There's a whole whack thing to it. There's a whole, I just don't get it. My heart goes out to the Buffalo Bill fans. I think I was more sad about that. I mean, at the end of the day, I only lost $50. And, I grew up watching the Bills against, the Cowboys twice. Who else did they lose to? It was the Redskins and I think the Giants. So just to do like 4 in a row, lose Super Bowls, and then, pretty much 4 Super Bowls almost in a row. Because the way I look at the AFC Championship is like whoever beats Patrick Mahomes, whoever wins that game is going to win the Super Bowl. The Chiefs are going to beat the Eagles in the Super Bowl. Whoever won that game will win it. The Chiefs are not going to lose to the Eagles. It's just a bummer. And it just makes me like Tom Brady more because he fucking beat Mahomes twice. He beat him when it counted twice.
So that's the difference. Like when
people are like, who's the GOAT? Well, you got beat twice by a 40-year-old guy. A guy in his 40s beats you in the Super Bowl in the second quarter. And then in the
exactly. So real quick, it like domination. Like some of those games were just like there was no question. Like going back to Ron Barnes' point, there was no like, one play goes this way, it's a different game. No, like even like some key playoff games, Patriots just like demolished other teams.
Yes, and even that Deflategate thing, they're like, yeah, Tom Brady's a cheater. I'm like, I don't think Deflategate really counts as cheating. And also, like, I'm pretty sure he beat Andrew Luck and the Colts like 50-0. I think like even if they didn't throw the ball one time, the running game still would have.
The thing about that game is like,
and I'm a Chargers fan. We hated Tom Brady the most.
The other team's balls were also deflated. Like it was a natural phenomenon. It's dude, and also they run for like 300 yards.
Yeah, like, ridiculous. Spygate was ridiculous. So go there, they're watching our stadium. It's like, dude, I'm sure Bill Belichick would let the players, like they have fan day. We can go watch the practices and shit. I don't know, man. What happened on Sunday is I stopped watching football. I've got a girlfriend now, and I was like in a bad mood for a couple hours, and she didn't deserve that. You know, the only time you get sick to your stomach from not being sick is when you get cheated on or when you lose money gambling. And it sucks because you're just like, whoa, there's no way, you know, like there's no way. And, the people who are around you don't deserve that shit. And, after watching the refs rig that game, I just told myself I'm done watching football. That was it. They took the Chargers from me. I think the NFL is way too entertainment-y than it is. Like, I think college football is way better than the NFL. It's way better. And I'm not going to watch the Super Bowl. I'm going to pick up a shift. I mean, they'll have it on, but like I'm done with it. I'm fucking done with it. And I feel better. I'm clean.
I have a question.
I'm NFL.
Sorry.
No,
Which sport do you think, if either of them, will take out the human element first? Football or baseball? I think football, because baseball is so...
Baseball's like, better than ever.
But also, like, their umpires are a part of the game.
Yes, that's like, a good point. Get rid of
them,
too.
Reason, kind of accepted. Like, not every call is perfect, but it's just... It is what it is.
It's not the Commanders.
And it's probably not going to change anytime soon.
It's not the Commanders. It's the Redskins. They're getting their name back. They're the family of the tribe that got taken away from them, that they paid tribute to. They're getting their name back. It was a bunch of pissed off, angry white people that took it away without asking the family. They're called the Redskins, and they're coming back. It's a tribute to a family. They're going to be called the Redskins in the last 2 years. It's not the fucking Commanders. Sorry, what were you saying?
We talked about that. UI and Aliaz kind of behind the scenes talked about that when they initially changed the name.
The family's super pissed off. They did not ask the family. The guy,
and they actually consulted with the tribe, and they were okay with it. Like,
it was a tribute. They looked at it as a tribute. It wasn't like a diss or an exploit thing. It was something they were very proud of. And then just the woke bullshit going too far, calling it the Commanders. Now it's got to come back, and that's however you want to chalk it up or look at it. Doesn't matter because it's coming back. It's going to be called the Redskins in less than 2 years.
Yeah.
So anyway, I wanted them to win too. People were like, cool. Who? Yeah, this is gonna be a weird Super Bowl. Like the two most hated teams. I don't know. Right. I hope nobody watches it, but it is a trip because my buddy was explaining to me this whole Taylor Swift thing. Well, I do want to talk about beer. I've got some things written down, but the whole Taylor Swift thing, I said. I was asking him, I was like, why doesn't Taylor Swift just do the halftime show at the Super Bowl? My buddy was like, no, she's already there. They already have millions of people tuned in just to watch her and like what she's wearing and how she's going to celebrate. So have like Beyonce, you know, because then you get the whole demographic. And I was like, damn, that's a good point, man. Like, why doesn't the NFL or the NHL or Major League Baseball just pay these people to be there? Like, I'm going to pay Beyonce Like people love seeing celebrities in the stands, Bradley Cooper high-fiving people, or you watch the UFC fights or the boxing fights. They're always showing like Billy Crystal and Chuck Liddell and all the alumni and this and that. Like I love seeing that. It's good viewership. It keeps people around. Why don't they just you don't have to date this guy. Like we'll just pay Beyonce and Zac Efron and the
Just
fucking
touch 'em every now and then.
Yeah, the Rolling Stones, like who's ever the biggest draw, like just come hang out here and we'll just film you after, your team scores a touchdown and do some high fives. We'll put it in slow motion as we go into commercial break. People eat that shit up. I eat that shit up.
At least we'll get Paul Rudd and Bradley Cooper, man.
It's Paul Rudd a Squeagle
He's
fan?
a cheese fan.
Yeah. Noam, I'm going to switch gears a little bit though. You sent us a couple, I'm going to group text with him and all you guys. There was a brewery that went out of business a couple weeks ago that bummed you out, man. Was that one that surprised you? I was talking a little bit earlier on the stream about Resident in San Diego. I was very surprised by that. That was a bummer. I was down in North Park. I wanted to check them out. Like the day before I was in San Diego, I heard Resident went out. Not Resident Culture, which is in Tennessee. Resident Culture is a big one out here. But there was a Resident in San Diego that was like a staple for 10 plus years. They pulled the plug, and I still don't believe it. And you also never know. Like it couldn't always be like a money thing, right? It could be an eternal thing or like a Me Too thing or husband and wife getting divorced. You never really know, right? Like the most successful companies in the world that are printing money, you never really know. Like could they be, long lines of credit, forecasting through the roof? But I was very surprised by the Resident Brewing, rest in peace, entering brew heaven. But no, what was the one you sent us back? They had a few tasting rooms.
I'm trying to remember. There's so many. Like
I
because
know,
every time I see one,
man.
I link it to this. I'm if it's local, that changes things. But oh gosh, I don't know. Like in Rhode Island alone, we've lost like 3 recently. Like within like the last like 5 months,
4 months,
I'd say.
yeah. How are they doing in? I was just with the Brew Show about a month ago, but I don't know how they're doing, man. Like we went to Green Cheek. Me and Donnie went to Green Cheek. Me, Rachel, and Donnie.
Heard good things about them.
Yeah, but I was the only one there.
Really?
Yeah, they're a huge place, man.
They do a lot of Westies, I heard, right?
They do a lot of what?
Westies?
They do a lot of Westies. They actually had a collab with North Park. I saw their beer at Green Cheek, and I saw their beer in North Park. The bummer about that building, though, because that used to be Bagby's, which was the old brewer for Pizza Port, Jeff Bagby. It's just too big of a building, man. It's such a big building.
Yeah.
Have you
been
there?
If you're the only one there, that's not a good look.
Well, I don't know, man. Like, do you guys have in your hometowns like breweries that move into an existing brewery and find success? Because I do believe, and shout out to Brew Mill Tony, he bought an existing brewery. I do think you can pull it off, but I think that there's some establishments that are just built to fail.
So there's a brewery. So across the street from where I
Green
had
Cheek
beer
does
at the brew
rule.
show.
Zach Pearson, he knows what's up. The shit was good, man. They serve you a lager and they give you the mug with it, and it's the little things that add up to home runs. Those little things like that, I fucking love. That hard glass mug that you can slam down. It's not going to break. Shout out to Green Cheek for doing that. Good to see you too, man.
So me and Bruce had beers at this brewery called Moniker. Across the street, there's this place.
Tell us about your hangout.
Yeah, I love that place. But across the street, there's a brewery which has been 3 different breweries in like the last 2 years.
That's not good.
So the first initial brewery though is the one I talked about earlier, Long Live, which they're like expanding. They moved to a bigger location. They opened up a second location. Like they're killing it. The brewery that moved in after them failed completely. I won't mention their name, but now the third brewery is actually doing really Beer on Earth. It was called.
We're not going to be on each other's radars. We're in different territories completely.
Yeah, they do a lot. They did a lot of donut bears. A lot of sours with like literal like donuts thrown in. It was
I remember that was such a thing.
Diabetes IPA. Yeah.
That was a huge thing for a while.
And they were okay.
Very
light on flavor, but it is what it is. But anyway, so like the brewery that moved in with now is doing really good stuff.
Good.
And they had a really weird, unique situation before that. They were borrowing a brew system from another brewery and they would literally like have like basically a kegerator set up and like pour their beers for patrons in the same brewery as like where they were brewing it. So it was like two breweries in one almost. And then they like got a little bit of I don't know, like them having a presence in that brewery kind of made a name for themselves, and then they moved into that location that I just talked about where Beer on Earth didn't work out. So like yeah, it's pretty crazy though. Three breweries in the same location. But
dude.
What's up, Alias?
I know exactly. I know exactly what you're talking about. Is he in here?
He's here.
There he is. Aloha. Oh, Braj.
Yo.
Good to see you, Braj.
Hold on.
Dude, Gnome, I know exactly what you're talking about. Brew Show. What's
Yo.
the place off the 78 that's got like way too much shit going on in it? It used to be where Indian Joe's was.
Indian Joe's.
It was like a food court with 4 different places, like one brewery. It was like 4 different breweries.
Oh, yeah.
There's no
It's
way
like
that
a
place
lab.
is still in business, right? There is no way.
It is. It is still.
It
in
is. Well,
business, but
good.
like,
I mean, good.
Man.
it's like 4 different breweries that share the space
Dude,
together.
it's too much going on. You know who's winning in that? You know who's killing in that? The one like
person
hamburger
building.
place. Yeah, if you're not selling beer in
Yeah.
there, you're killing it. If you're selling beer in there, you're fucked.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's up,
I'm
Alyssa?
surprised.
Hey.
What's
you
going
know,
on, everyone? NBC? All right, this all yours. The good news is that we're here and you came on at a good time. The bad
Yeah.
news is
Hell
that
yeah.
the bad news is over. We took like 5 different mulligans on the stream upload tonight.
Yes.
Took a while, yeah.
Wait, what happened? Like, were you guys like just running into issues?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was trying to do my I don't even know.
I'm gonna be the first to break the seal. I'll be right back.
Do it.
Do it.
Let's get this up here.
Alrighty.
All right, we got 45
Howdy,
people here, man.
folks. Good to see you guys.
It's been a
Good to see you,
minute,
man.
A lot of new
man.
names.
It's been a while, yeah.
Dude, we are so
Yeah.
back. We're 2 back.
Oh man, it's good to be back,
It's good to be back, Alias. How you been, Braj? What's new?
dude. Just living life, man. Traveling, eating good, and been all around
Where you been?
Caribbean and
You went to
a lot of traveling.
you went to the Caribbean. Bruce went to Scandinavia.
Yeah,
I went to San Diego.
nice.
I went to Croatia.
That's pretty. That's pretty
sick.
exotic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
and I want you to go to Croatia, Alias, because I want you to compare it to Florence. Because I've heard
Okay.
Florence is phenomenal.
Florence was really good. I didn't get to spend a whole lot of time there or like get to explore it on like my own kind of thing
Yeah.
outside of our tour group. But like Rome is really fun as well as
Touristy.
the CC. I really like the CC. It's like super small town vibe,
Yeah.
but like super cheap, easy to get around, and just beautiful. Like super, super beautiful.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm due for an Italy trip. I just overshot it. I was on the other side of the what is it? The Adriatic Sea.
Yep.
Sea.
Yeah.
it's
Adriatic
right
Sea.
there.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I feel like everything over there is just like the Mediterranean. But I'll be back, man. I will be back. Havar for life.
It looked beautiful. Looked gorgeous.
Havar?
Just your Croatia video, the whole thing, it just looked awesome.
Yeah. Split was kind of cool. It's you got to kind of get away from it a little bit. It can get kind of, the classes are so separated. Most countries are, even America. But like in other countries, it's way more polarized.
Mm.
You know what I'm talking about, Alias? Like there's like,
Yeah.
it's. I think America's like probably better, than most countries. But any which way, when you get to the right spots and this and that, like you start to like look around, you're like, am I in the fucking Truman Show? Like, how come there's no bums? Like, where's the cigarette butts and the trash and the plastic? Like, there's nothing.
Depends like what cities. Like if you go to the bigger cities, you'll see them everywhere.
You'll
Like,
see
you go to
big cities
Rome?
everywhere. You'll see a crazy guy running around. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Like you go to Rome, you see that like a lot. Like you see a lot of gypsies, a lot of homeless folks.
What's
Naples.
a gypsy? What's a gypsy? What's
Just
the
like
difference between a gypsy and a bum?
they're actually trying to scam you and things.
Oh, they're matchstick men or women.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Roswells, what's up, Braj? Check it out. I'm breaking this out. I got a special one for you guys tonight. And I'm going to make a video on this. Look what I got here. Looky.
Airplane. Oh shit.
Oh,
I found it.
Let's go, guys.
More importantly, my friends, that's on my, remember we were talking about our
Oh, is that
Our,
the Kirkland Lager?
yeah, our Mount Rushmores. This is on my Mount
Hell
Rushmore.
yeah.
I know. Like, imagine Costco beer collabing with one of your Mount Rushmores. Hallelujah.
awesome.
Who are they collabing with?
Deschutes.
The shoot. Oh shit.
Deschutes scores. Check it out, man.
Oh,
Look no
okay.
further.
Oh, I see it. Okay. Damn.
Fresh
you need to collab,
squeezed,
dude.
pine drops.
You need to collab with the Costco guys. You need to hit up Big AJ. Do
Who?
a collab beer. You don't know about the Costco guys?
No.
Oh, on freaking TikTok.
I'm gonna go in for it, dude.
No,
I
Screw
had a
those
friend.
guys. Those guys are annoying as shit.
I had a friend.
Bring the
that-
boom, baby. Let's go.
I'm gonna text this to the
That's
GM.
5 booms right there.
The GM at Zool
Yeah.
got this for me.
Let us know how many booms it is when you take your sip, man. We need to know.
Hold on.
Cheers,
I got
folks.
a beer question, especially with hazies and stuff. Do you guys like seeing the trub at the bottom of the glass? Because I do. Like with red wine, I want to see the lees, the protein.
Yeah.
I do
Well,
want
it
to see
I
that.
don't
on
want
the
to see
beer style.
I don't want to see hop leaves.
No, all y'all's is right. It depends on the style. You don't want to see this shit in a lager, but you like for a hazy or something that's heavily dry hop. I don't mind at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it also freaks the shit out of people,
Yeah.
especially
It
girls.
does. It does scare some folks for sure.
Yeah, especially ladies.
Yeah.
You're drinking like hop leaves. That shit, it's bitter. You don't.
Yeah,
want
those
that.
are bitter. Yeah, I wouldn't want that. But I think like some yeast or something like that.
Right.
But like, depending on the beer.
Alrighty then. How many beers are we on right now? This is my third.
Yeah, all the guys, you got to catch up, man.
I gotta
You
catch
got a lot
up.
to
I'm
catch
on
up,
my
man.
first
I've got
year.
Want me to
the,
lie or should I tell the truth?
I literally
got
just
the
came back
Coors.
from mosque, and my cat's like
How was church?
wanting nothing but attention.
It's a cool cat.
You have a cat?
Yeah, I got a cat. His name's Prince. Here, let me grab him.
Nice.
Prince?
Is he purple?
Cheers, everybody. Purple Rain.
Ray, say hello.
Purple Rain. Sticking with the
Ew.
beer content, who's putting out content these days? Who's still ripping? I feel like it's kind of dried up.
Ballhammer's ripping.
Ballhammer, yeah.
Farmer's
Ballhammer.
ripping. Charlie just
Apartment's been putting some stuff out here and there.
Apartment's been ripping. It's tough to think about it when you're on the spot, but like I missed the Bent Gate channel. I think they broke up. I think that they were partners that were in it all together. Probably
Oh,
shouldn't
that's too bad.
say this on the internet, but I'm also, wishing them both well. But I did like their channel. I really liked their channel when they were doing the rock climbing thing and brewing in that thermos. I got to hit him up.
Are you talking about the Swedish Norwegian dude?
Yeah,
Or
the
Swedish?
expats that went out to
Yeah.
Oslo. I haven't seen them put out content in a long time.
I hit them up when I was in Scandinavia, but they were in the U.S. when I was there. I was like, damn.
No
That's right.
way.
Yeah, they were in my neck of the nape, and we were trying to team up, and they were close. And my door's always open. I was like, I treat this place almost as like your Airbnb, because I stay at Rachel's a lot, and
Yeah.
I was just gonna give them my place, and maybe you'll see me, maybe you won't. But hey, man, my door's open for a barrage. And fuck, what were there? It was what was his buddy's name? It's Dan and any which way. I missed their channel.
Northwest has been putting out.
He's been
Northwest
cranking. Charlie Golden Hive Mead. He can do the shorts like I'm just like, dude, when are you gonna run out of ideas? But he's always got something. When he's doing the long formats, he'll hit me up or just let me know, hey man, this is a lot different game. I'm like, I know. That's why I don't brew or put out content anymore because it's soul stealing. But he's been grinding. Gina's put out a video. Did you guys catch that?
Yeah, I saw that.
They're back from the dead.
How long ago?
Maybe a month.
Yeah, a little less than a month, yeah.
I don't think
think
he
I
got
caught
any love unless like you set the alarm because he's so out of the algorithm wants you to be consistent. They want you to be consistent unless you just hit one out of the park. Barbecue Larry, he's coming back from the dead. What about our boy out there? God, man, I'm sorry that I'm blanking right now. Who's the guy that hates when you show his face? He's got the sweet voice. He's like the white
David
Morgan
Heath?
Freeman. David
David
Heath,
Heath,
yes, the white Morgan
He's
Freeman.
posted.
Hello. He's
Yeah.
cranking, yeah.
Heath Brewing.
Martin Keen's still posting a bunch.
What about
He's on the philosophy stuff, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how they're still posting, man. I mean, I love it, but like, what else could you do?
Treehouse is still posting.
You know, Coke versus Pepsi. For
Heyo.
40 minutes. Yeah.
Are they beer related?
You gotta have it to claw hammer though. Like as far as longevity goes and how to mix it up, because I do feel like Brewlosophy or even my channel, we're just kind of going in circles and just like, hey, top 10 ways or top, how to do this and that. Because there is only a certain amount of things you can really do or talk about unless you want to get into like, I don't know, mead or Applejack or whatever. But Clawhammer, like, will figure it out. They'll figure out a way to do a cider video.
I mean,
how to buy apples for cheap. And
yeah, they're putting out a lot. Like, and then they just went to New Zealand.
They're in New Zealand right now. I talked to them.
Yeah,
all day.
right.
I want to blow them up. I've been blowing those motherfuckers up since they're 6 a.m.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, even still, it's got a tough job. He's got a really tough job. It's like, what else can we think of? How to make bananas? How to make this movie?
Coming up with more and more things to do.
It's tough, man. That's why I think the vlog videos will always work. They might not get the most amount of views for any of us, but I will always watch them. If a brew tuber puts out that, I'm watching that first things first. I mean, Trent, I loved your craft coast, your California coast. What'd you do about
it's like
1,000
one of my
miles?
lowest. It's one of my lowest viewed videos, but I appreciate
I
it.
watched it, man. I watched it. Because I kind of know what's going on. If someone does a grain glass video, I'm like, I think I got it. I think we're good. I think I know what's going on. Yeah. But yeah, man, the beard thing is not doing good for everyone.
Yeah, you gotta find something new. That's why we're doing the ginger beer, man.
No, and we're gonna do a ginger beer.
I think we just need another pandemic.
No, you know what I was thinking about the other day? You know what I was thinking about the other day? I was thinking about when me and Nome went to Austin and visited Nome. And I was thinking like
Jess, you mean?
What?
When you and Nome visited Nome in Austin?
No. When me and Nome visited you with all of us.
Oh.
Did I say that backwards?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Double Nome.
Literally, I'm sorry about that. Everywhere we went in Austin, they were reading the room. Jorge Castro says it, hospitality is everything. I agree with that a lot. I agree. I still think that there's brands out there that fucking kill it. There's brands out there that could carbonate or can or bottle tap water and it'll sell.
I mean, look at Liquid Death, right? Like,
there's just breweries out there that like everything they touch, people are like, this is so good. I'm like, is it? Like, is it really that good? Like, I've been to Burial a million times. I love Burial. I don't care what's on draft when I go there. But the beer's fine. Like if Burial got rid of all of their beer and just had Miller Lite or Sierra Nevada or, whatever on, I'd still want to go to Burial. Like, I just want to go there. It's a cool spot. But Austin, Texas, like the live music, the food, the ambiance, Pine House, Lazarus, the coffee. We weren't really hanging out in business parks. And I was talking to my buddy Dave, who owns Booze Brothers, and he's like, oh, you need to have like a good location. I was like, no, you don't, dude. You're fucking out of touch. And I think a lot of my friends who own breweries are out of touch.
And it's not location. I think it's just ease of access.
Location, you're so right. Location's such a cop-out. Everyone's like, well, if you have a good, how's Kilowatt doing? Brew Show? They have the best location right across from the Oceanside Move. They're not doing good at all. If you have good hospitality and branding, people will find you. Treehouse.
They'll get their way to you.
Treehouse is also like the perfect like hospitality
example
and branding. Yeah, like you could dummy it down a few notches, people will still find you. But
there's something I would have to add to that though. Treehouse is also a destination brewery. You have to drive out of your way to get there. Like it's not something like
more of our point.
It's right down the street.
More of our
it's
point.
Like no, that's like an hour and a half away. But it's in the middle of nowhere. Like most of their locations, they do have some like on the water locations, but some of them, dude, it's like Western Mass.
You're right. That's a good point. It's like location. It's such like a. That's a great point. Treehouse might be the only brewery that has that. Like you're going out of your way for a horrible location off the beaten road for that. There's no other. There are.
Hill
What's that
Farmstead.
one in northern New Hampshire that like the farmhouse one?
Well, there's Hill Farmstead, which is in Vermont,
Yeah.
which is absolutely insane. Like, and
I
it's
went there.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you see, they like warn you ahead of time. You're gonna lose your phone signal,
I
so
love
make
that.
sure you know where you're going ahead of time.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Like
It's in the
literally,
middle
they're
of-
like on their website. By the way, don't trust your GPS.
yeah, truly in like the middle of nowhere, Vermont. Like,
I love
but
that.
the beer was amazing.
Their beers are phenomenal.
That's
yeah.
the treehouse, right? The other
No,
treehouse
Farm-
the
location?
Hill Farms.
Hill Farms. Okay.
There's a farms out here that kills it too. Everything that's brewery related that has farm at the end, I'm pretty sure they got it all figured out. Just put farm at the end.
Yeah,
of
I
everything.
guess like because like
IPA farm.
Chester
I would do
King,
that.
Chester King, like they're out pretty far out.
That's a good one
like, from,
too.
Like
Okay, they're about 45-minute drive
from
from the beaten
Austin,
path.
they're about like 30 minutes away from like downtown, give or take, from like 30 to 45 minutes from like a main area,
That's a great point.
and they're killing it. Like they have food there, they have all the beers you want to have. Like they do fresh pizza, like right there in front of you and everything, and it's fucking good. Pricey but good.
It's such an interesting business model. Like, how do you market for that? I guess it's all just word of mouth, right? People hear about this cool place in the middle of nowhere, and
You're talking
Yeah.
about starting up. Like, how do you start that? 'Cause
how do you start a business like that?
yeah, that is
Well,
yeah.
Well, land
Someone
was
mentioned
cheap
it
out
earlier,
there,
and I
right?
said this before, but dude, the line from the baseball movie, Field of Dreams: "If you build it, they will come." If you have that thing going on, the people that do go there, they're gonna word of mouth it, obviously, but it's gonna be kind of like, and I hate to sound cheesy, but special. It's like more unique than your
It's a
typical experience.
destination, right?
Yeah,
It's, yeah,
So-
the destination brewery, like a destination
Right.
wedding kind of
however,
thing. Yeah.
you need if that's your plan from the get go, you're gonna have to
Well, that's and I
it's got to build. It's not going to be like an overnight success.
no, and I sound like an idiot right there, but Trent, I meant saying like if you started something downtown, urban, or even suburban, and it was crushing, and then we can try to do like the off beaten path thing.
Right.
Like that makes a little bit more sense. But just to start that route, be like, hey, this is where like, the carnival used to be in the 70s. Let's open up a fucking brewery. Like, what?
Yeah.
There's no houses or, track homes around here. No, we're just going to do it and it's going to work. Like, you really need to know what you're doing. You really, really need to know what you're doing, man.
Yeah, you have to be doing something special too. I feel like
You
that.
do. And, and I hate bringing this up because the people in here, and you could talk to Jorge Castro about this, we all think like, if you have good beer, people will find you. It's like, that's not true at all. You need to have everything going your way right now. You really need to have like getting girls in here. You need to have like a great parking lot. You need to have, not a food truck that just comes once a week. You need to have like really good food. You need to have fucking baby changing stations. You need to have a lot figured out. And, when people were opening up breweries 12 years ago, it was people like us. It was just like homebrewers. Like nowadays,
Yeah.
like I don't care at all about.
Now it's like business people
Yeah,
who are like, trying to get
and
into it. Yeah.
and I'm gonna make a video on that, and it's gonna bum a lot of people out, but it keeps me up at night, and I want to say it. But Trent, when I was in San Diego, we went to fucking Rulers last day, Ruler in Carlsbad,
Yeah.
and they were killing it. It was their last day, and I'm looking around like it's a Lance Armstrong cycling themed brewery, and I'm like, I couldn't fucking tell anybody. Like, hey, all y'all, no, hey, bring your mom, your sister, your girlfriends. They're like, where are we going? Oh, we're going to a cycling thing brewery. They're like, I'm not gonna go there. Like, as soon as you say that, like,
Yeah.
I'm not fucking
Yeah.
going to this shit. What are you
That sounds
talking
horrible.
about? It sounds horrible. Like, but
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to carve their niche, right? But like then you make
Dude.
it too specific.
even like my boys like Battle Mage and stuff, I love them to death and I'm biased, but like that's a pretty gnarly niche to go like the Dungeons
Yeah.
and Dragons route.
gamer, yeah.
Yeah,
D&D
gamer, like Dungeons. It's specific to Dungeons and Dragons, right? Like it's not like they have like Sonic theme or Pac-Man themes at all in their thing.
Dude, they
right?
got me, man. They got me.
and I love them, but I'm almost I'm also biased, but like I'm gonna make a video. Hey man, I can't even explain. Like the people that are like, what happened to craft beer? What happened to craft beer? You can't even. I remember going to Oceanside Ale Works 12 years ago. Shittiest beer on planet Earth.
Yeah.
Business park, no air conditioning, no heater, serving beer, not even in glass, plastic cups,
yeah,
shoulder to shoulder. shoulder to shoulder, probably doing $5,000 or $6,000 nights, selling beers at $4 a pop.
Yeah.
People are like,
Damn.
where'd that day go? It's like, that was a fucking lifetime ago.
They're still around, man. They are still there.
I refuse to believe that. There's no way.
What's the name of the
Where?
brewery?
There's no way.
They are still there.
They're
Well, I don't know
not.
how they're
brewery?
making any profit, but
You know, and I go at it with my buddies who own breweries, you know, Culver Mike and these guys. They're like, hey, this isn't like real beer. This isn't like GAFB, this and that. I'm like, dude, look around. There's everybody in this establishment's wearing a t-shirt. There's more hot girls in here than there were at Studio 54. I don't give a fuck if you think if their beer is good or not. Like, you're so eyes wide shut. Like, the brewer, oh, this isn't even real beer. This isn't even good. I'm like, dude, this place is going to make 30 grand on a Saturday. Like, you're the worst guy I would ever want to go into business with. Like, fucking see it from the outside looking in.
Yeah.
And it, you know, and it's a thing too, because us brewers, we brew and we wait, and then it tastes good, and we're so proud of it. To somebody be like, oh, that's not even going to be on the menu. That's going to fuck you up. But I don't, you know, like I don't want that guy to begin with.
Yeah.
yeah.
And no offense to, you know, Noam doing his saison. And I said this in a video without saying, I was like, just because you're a good home brewer, like, don't think that rolls over to selling beer. Like, Noam's going to do a winter saison.
That beer would not sell.
It would not
Yeah.
sell. If you,
People don't like saison. Very few people do.
It wouldn't matter if I loved it or liked it. If we owned a brewery together, it's not on the menu. It would never make it on the menu. Never. Not even a 5-gallon pilot batch. It's going to be fruited sours that are all 600 calories.
No, dude, I get it completely, dude. That's hilarious, though.
Do you want to? You know, homebrewers, we want to win awards and we have bragging rights. Leave it at that. You know, the 5-gallon fermenters, that doesn't roll over to, you know, it did 12 years ago. You know, remember finding places that had awards, and, you know, we would drive to them.
Yeah.
That day is fucking that day was over 8 years ago.
Yeah.
You need baby changing stations, hamburgers, trivia night, bingo night, and beer that tastes like Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
And even then, you're struggling.
No. Yeah. I work at a place that's killing it. I'm just kidding. They're listening. Someone called in the other day. They're like, hey, how many calories are in your PB&J? I was like, you got the wrong number. This is your...
Yeah. This is a Wendy's?
Yeah. Carry out or delivery? Paper or plastic? Yeah, it's just a different game, man. And I never want to tell anybody, like, don't start a brewery. You know, 5 years ago, if someone was like, I'm opening up a brewery, I'd be so stoked. Now it's like, man, go work at In-N-Out for a year. Just like steal their whole, their wheels in motion, their you know, their
process.
They're everything's calculated. You know, like, they're not just, don't just start a brewery where you're gonna have like 2 of your friends you're gonna hire be your beer tenders and sit back. You know, like, that day is,
They don't do shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta Ray Kroc them first. You gotta, like,
dude, I love that movie. Michael
it
Keaton.
is a good movie.
Yeah. And I truly believe that the best part about homebrewing is we do not have to sell our beer. We do not have to sell it.
No.
It's a whole, and everyone's like, well, is it craft beer? Well, this isn't craft beer. This isn't, no. Once you decide that you're going to try to turn this into money, I don't care if you want to call it craft beer, independent beer, mama, we're trying to make money, you know, like.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you need to run it like you need to have money coming in.
I'm my friends, you know, they go off on Zool so hard, and it's not beer tenders. It's not this. It's always the brewery owners that are / brewers. They are the most out of touch motherfuckers on planet Earth. They are the most out of touch people in their own world. They've got Belgians on and dark ales and ambers and brown ales. I'm looking at them. I'm like, dude, you can't even see this. You can't even see this. You could win awards with this. You know, I'm sure this is GABF guidelines, but you're 10 years behind. You're 10 years ago, you know, and
that's not what they want to see. That's not what they want now.
They don't want to hear it. Every chef thinks that they're the best. Every comedian thinks that they're the funniest. Every YouTuber thinks that, you know, if you have 1,000 subscribers, that people are watching and going to stick around the whole time. It's not the case, man. You got to see it from the outside looking in.
Yeah.
I have a question. When
Yeah,
you walk
sorry.
into like a brewer, when you walk into like a new brewery you've never been into,
I can tell instantly. I can tell instantly whether this is the place or not the place. And I got that in Austin, Texas. Sorry.
my question is like, how do you decide what to pick? Do you go for like your staples, what you love, like lagers or IPAs, or do you look at like if they have do they have medals for certain beers, like a brown
Great question.
ale?
Great question. I don't give a
What do you-
fuck about medals at all. If you have a gold medal in Japanese rice lager, it means nothing to me. I say, what do you sell the most of? And I've been around with, I think, enough of you guys. I don't hem and haw with the menu. I'm like, what do you guys sell the most of? Oh, we got two. Cool. Let me get 2 half pints. Never get a flight. Never spend more than 10 seconds in line. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, how brown's your brown? No. It's a brown. It's brown. How hazy is your hazy? It's hazy. You know, that's why we called it hazy.
Yeah.
It's hazy. Yeah.
What do you do now when you show up to a brewery? You never
He
been
gets a
to?
flight, holds up the fucking line for 2 hours.
Oh, definitely not. Definitely not.
Can I?
Well, if
Um,
it's like a Tuesday and there's
I
nobody
asked,
there.
what's
That's-
your lightest beer?
I used
usually
to do
go-
that. That's what Kyle from Clamor does.
Yeah.
What's your lightest beer?
But I usually go for the lagers. Like I ask, like
Dark lagers.
I'll do kind of what CH does. Like, what's your best selling? And especially if it's a lager, I'm definitely getting it.
Dude, menus are for losers, dude. Especially
And-
with
That's
food.
hilarious.
But if it's like if they say IPA and it's IPA time, like that part of the day, like I'm no longer like day drinking, it's night drinking, then IPA it is.
I got a story.
I think we all kind of go for like when we've hung out and went to brew. It's mostly lagers, and so like for me,
I mean, I
unless I
have
feel
to,
like-
otherwise I'm gonna
Be drunk.
be hammered by like. Well, I'm already gonna be hammered, but I'm gonna be even worse by like 2 p.m. and then be like,
Yes.
where are we going?
Yes, we were drinking hazies at Zilker with Just Brewing, but after that, I think we chilled out.
But we only did like half pints too, and they weren't like
Yes.
super aggressive hazies or anything like that.
Yes.
that was also kind of later in the day as well, though.
It was later in the day.
Yeah, I
We
think it was
slowed
dinner
down
time.
at that point just because we were talking a bunch. I was doing more talking than drinking at that point.
I don't remember that. I think we were pretty chill. You got to
Well, that's
also
what
you
that's what I'm saying. Like we weren't downing beers
yes.
as fast as
Oh,
we
I got you.
normally
I got
were.
you. I got you.
We
I'm
slowed
fine.
down
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
pounding the beers. Like it was just more conversation happening than actual like drinking kind of thing.
I got you. Gnarly Nugget Homebrew. He says, I judge a brewery on their lagers. That's a great bar. Like I judge Mexican food places on their carne asada. That's a great, or their chili relleno. That's a good bar. If they have the lagers figured out, you'll probably be okay with everything else.
That's true.
Yeah.
That means they know
The
how to
lagers
brew.
are hard to get
Yeah.
done well because you can't hide behind like all the different flavors,
No.
hops, yeast, and stuff like
No.
that. It's very, very like it is what it is.
Yes, and when you see a brewery that's got the horizontal tanks, try their
Yeah.
lagers. Like no, we had that at Cellarist. We had that
Grand Central.
Grand Central. Yeah, phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. And they do that because of the surface area, right? It clears out the beer more.
Yeah, lagering happens quicker, basically.
Okay.
It spreads
There's-
out the
Does
sediment,
it just
right?
give it a
Instead
better,
of it all
a
just
more
going-
surface area for it to like, for the yeast to kind of settle and everything like that instead of just going down
That was my
a tight
understanding.
cylinder?
Right.
Okay.
Why hasn't that like become a thing for homebrewing? Why isn't there like a
That's a great question. That's a great question.
for homebrewing?
Know? Probably just space.
But like
Like-
you can make it in the same dimensions or like a dimensions that fit like a kegerator, you know?
So
No.
part of that is also why when they do that, they also stack them because you need
There's-
to like, especially in breweries, you need to like utilize your vertical space.
Vertical
Chili
space,
relleno.
If
yeah.
you're going horizontal, it's
But also
taking
they're
up
using
more of,
and they're
like-
using glycol too. They're not using like a fridge
Mother
to chill it, right? They're using glycol.
Yeah. I'm
so-
just saying like it seems like that's an obvious like the next
I think at that
Clawhammer
point
thing.
you're better off making your own as a home brewer. But also like remember the amount of liquid we are
Don't tell Clawhammer
doing
this.
isn't
They're not
is
gonna,
nowhere near the amount right that they're doing. And so I think we can get the same results with our smaller conicals and stuff like that as they are with those big because they're
That's
doing
fair,
what like
yeah.
hundreds of gallons at a time, right? We're
Yeah.
doing usually at most 15.
but I know some
it
people that
takes
would
up a
buy
lot
that.
more space. You have to have a lot and stack them. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Well, also, but no, what they do at Grand Central Station.
What do you mean?
Where were
Like-
their horizontal kegs? They weren't on the ground.
Oh, yeah, it was like right above them where
They
they're serving
blasted
their
them
beer.
to the ceiling. So see what Gnome
Yeah.
has back there. They would hang them like up there. So it was even better than a vertical corny.
Yeah, that's true. Well, so they were, I think, using them as like serving tanks as well. So same thing with cellar rest. Remember we asked like what's up with these? It was a really weird setup. You can actually like look into them. There was like a little like glass.
That was Cellarist. You're thinking of Grand Central
Yeah.
Station.
No, I know. Well, I was bringing up both actually. It's just I think they were using them as serving vessels. Is what I'm saying. Like
I don't remember that. remember more
well,
than I
cellar
do.
rest definitely was. I don't know about Grand Central, but
By the way, put Cellarist on your I mean, breweries now. It's not even like is it your top 5 or like your top 5 without kids? Cellarist is definitely on my top 5 without kids. No, that was one of my favorites. Cellarist,
really,
yeah.
huh?
That was the place me, you, and Nick went. We smelled the Thai food from outside.
Yeah, it
the
was
food
in,
truck
like,
was so
Asheville.
good
Yeah.
outside, it stunk up the whole place.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Damn, that actually sounds really good.
Yeah.
It was a very interesting brewery because like all their beers rest on some sort of wood at some point. Like,
Yeah.
and it's not your even typical wood. It's like this one rested on cedar planks, and it's like what the fuck? I don't even think I've heard that in beer.
We're in Asheville,
Yeah.
man. Johnny
It's
Asheville.
cool.
Reclaimed wood. That's 5% of every reclaimed wood goes to the hospitality convention down the street. But yeah, walking around, you're always going to walk past Cellarist to or fro. I've never waited in a line. They're not making a ton of money, this and that, but it's right next to Clawhammer. It's right next to the studio. I love that place.
This is all in Asheville.
Yeah, right
Yeah.
on right on Haywood, like the main.
Nice,
drag. Yeah.
nice.
It was cool. They had like plants hanging like in the middle of the brewery
Imagine
and shit,
that.
like which like definitely artisan, like like small batch, like taking chances. I would say like doing interesting shit. Like I said, when you think of wood aging, you don't think of cedar, for instance. Like
You know what?
I love
Right.
that stuff.
You know what
It
I
might not
liked
be. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I interrupted you, but I'm gonna.
No, you're good, man.
All I'm saying
My
about
point-
Cellars,
my-
we were able to drink lagers in the mug without paying $100 to be in the mug club.
Okay, yeah,
if
yeah.
they just served a lager, they just gave you the cool mug. It's the little things like that I enjoy because those glasses are way more expensive than the other ones, and I don't know. Everyone in San Diego, you got to give them $100 a year to have the glass. Do you guys belong
what I
to
hate
any mug clubs? Because I know that they are. I would do a mug club if I open up a brewery, and I know that there's breweries out there that have mug clubs where people are waiting in line to be in. But
Never.
I've never done a brew show. You a part of like 5 mug clubs or what?
No, I'm not.
You need
You
to
know,
go to a brewery like every day.
You need to be like, yeah, and you need to be loyal to that brewery. Like,
you
I
need
go
to be
to
an
Yeah.
a
alcoholic.
bunch of different places. Yeah,
I
Yeah,
got some.
something like that.
I want to support the breweries I like, but I also like a lot of breweries. So.
Yeah, that's a good point
Yeah.
too. Like even in San Diego, you're around probably the most breweries of any of us. Where do you go, Trent? Don't say
South
that.
O.
South
Yeah,
O.
There you go.
Cook.
They got
Oh, did you get their VB clone that they did?
no, not yet.
Yeah.
I haven't tried it yet.
I
do you
talked
mean
to
VB clone?
Trevor, and he said they're gonna can it too.
Victoria's
So
best. Yeah, they had
I'm
a
like,
whole like
ooh, you think you could send some to Texas? Because I
Texas.
loved VB when I was in Australia.
they had a whole like Australia
locals don't like
day.
it, but I was like, oh, I'll drink it all day.
I'm still waiting on the Foster's clone. Where's that at?
You don't want Foster's.
I think that's one of those things where it's not Australian. It's like an American
No, it's
dude.
definitely not.
No, it's Americanized pretty much.
Really quick though, back to ordering. For those who don't know, I work at Zool in Knoxville on Friday, Saturday, and Sundays. And I had these girls come in the other day. Just back to like we were talking about how do we order? What's our format? What do you order? A flight or a half pint or this and that. And these girls came in and they're like, "Hey, what are you guys known for?" I said, "Well, we sell PB&J. It's significantly more popular by far." And they were like, "Well, do you like it?" And I looked at them. I just kind of put my knuckles on the table and I was like, "Does that matter at all?" And they're like, "No, I guess not." And then we all just started laughing. It's just like the questions people that ask, Hey,
They,
what's,
they
why-
realized, oh,
what's
this
the
is
number
a
one
stupid
beer?
question.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's the number one beer. But like, do you like it? Like, why
What
would
does
that
me
matter?
liking it have
What
to do
does
with
that-
anything?
Yeah, like what? All I'm gonna do is like retract what I just like pushed, you know?
Is there where you give him like a taster?
Damn. Trent's
Here-
fancy with his little like
What's he doing
Right,
over
yeah,
there?
BRB screen.
See,
He- I
that's
think
why
he's-
the brew show pisses me off.
He's too
talented.
good.
He's too
He's
talented.
too good.
I can do my ADHD bullshit, and even that takes me a couple weeks.
and it's a feed of his own video. Like with that.
I know it's all
like-
his own. It's all his beers that he's brewed.
Yeah.
It's like these look fantastic.
Who was the one that was clapping that one night? And we figured out, like, if you do a thumbs up, like you get the emoji.
Oh, it was me.
It
I
was-
think
Yeah,
I
it
was
was all
doing
yeah.
this.
And I think he did the fucking like that thing
And
too.
then I
whatever
did the
that
heart
was.
as well too, and it was showing hearts. It was,
Pretend to
but it was
jerk
doing
off.
that on
It's gonna be like a
Discord.
banana emoji.
That's the eggplant emoji.
Yeah.
The screen
peach.
becomes white.
The peach. Does that mean he's going to the bathroom right now? Damn, he's good.
I guess so. Yeah.
I heard every word you said.
Good. It's about time.
Good. You little Mr. Fancy Pants.
I'm gonna use the restroom. Hey, we got 50 people in here.
Rich McGee over here.
Ollie Oz.
Yo.
Since I hyped up Austin that well, and I think that Austin probably has read the room better than anywhere. You kind of have to, right? You can't be a brewery in Austin that opens up now in like a business park or a small little thing. You got to
Yeah,
have like,
we've lost a few breweries.
Star City, or whatever the hell that fucking thing was.
Star City.
Stargate.
Oh, wow.
Oh no, I think they're still around.
There's
What?
no way. There's
No,
I
I
refuse
think
to
they're
believe
still
that.
around.
That was the worst brewery of all time. Is that the one that grabbed the
Yeah.
little blueberries and put them in our beers?
Yeah, that was the one
Yeah.
that put the blueberries in the beer.
Are they funded by the Illuminati or some shit? What's
Yeah,
going on with that?
dude.
No, I think it's just the location they're at. It's
That place
Which
was
is awful,
wild.
by the way.
That,
That
place was
location
wild.
sucks, dude.
yeah, it sucked. Even though it's like down the street from Meanwhile, like that's what's crazy. Like you
Meanwhile
go to
ripped.
Meanwhile down the street, probably one of the best breweries in Austin.
Love Meanwhile. Love Meanwhile. Love
I'd say at
Pine
least
House.
top 3.
Is Meanwhile
And then
killing it? Are
down
they
the
doing
street
okay?
is that one. I was like, what the fuck happened there?
Yeah, that's like as far as beer classes could go. Like that's polar
Yeah, you
opposite.
literally have the bottom of the barrel and the
Yeah.
top of.
Is
it,
Meanwhile
too.
doing okay?
They're killing it still.
Dude, you know who's
They're
killing
killing
it? You know who's fucking killing it? It's not breweries that are putting their beer in distribution. Distribution's like, I don't know. It's like,
it's hard. Like you can't buy. Like I
Yes,
don't think
it's
I've
the
found
beer that's
Meanwhile
tough to
beers at
find.
like beer stores.
I know.
But you'll see them at certain like bars and stuff like that. They'll have them on like one of their beers on tap.
Do you know what I'm going to do right now? I'm going to crack my one and only, my North Park beer.
You won't.
All right. Say less. You know me, man. I'm a sucker for
Peer
reverse
pressure.
psychology. Oh, yeah. I can't
Yeah,
do
I
shit
know.
without it. I have no idea what to do with myself.
Watch me, bitch.
What are you
Uh,
drinking, Alias?
I got my Mexican dark lager.
Mm.
It's actually your recipe.
No
There
way.
you go.
It is
Cool.
actually your recipe. I just modified it a bit because
Cool.
you had. Actually, I'm glad you're here because I can talk to you about it and nerd out about it.
Cool.
It is your recipe. I modified it with was it the chocolate malt? I think
Mm-hmm.
you only had I think 2.5%, and you said to at least double it.
Yeah.
I would have used. I did double it, but I don't like it. Gave a little too much chocolatey flavor,
Okay. Yeah.
so I would have switched it out with either just like black patent for the color kind of thing.
Yeah. Or like a
So
Carafa 3 or
keep
something.
the low chocolate and then just add a little bit extra black patent to get that dark because that's
Vodka.
I got the color I really wanted.
What's up,
Yeah,
Raj?
it looks great.
And
It looks really good.
didn't have to do any additives or anything like that.
Mm.
And so otherwise everything else was perfect about it. I
Did
didn't
you,
do the lime juice.
Yeah, I was
with
gonna ask.
because there's some people who like it with lime juice, some people who don't, and it was mainly for a public event that I was doing. So I was just like, I just cut up a bunch of limes and then had a bowl on top of the kegerator. If you wanted a lime, you can grab one, squeeze it, take it, go.
That's awesome.
But I like having it with lime, and
Sweet,
so
Dude, send me the final recipe that you did, and I'll update the like description to like include
Sure.
your notes.
yeah. Yeah, and I think I have it all in percentages too. So
Sweet. Dude, nice. Yeah, that was a good beer.
but it's a solid beer. It's one of my favorites. And I use the same Mexican lager yeast you used too.
Yeah, it was a good one.
And you fermented it a little bit warmer than like typical lagers, right?
Yeah, I think
And
so.
I did that too, and I didn't get any off flavors. I didn't get like weird esters or anything like that, and it fermented well. Like I didn't hit like a stall or anything like that.
Nice.
I think my final gravity was, I think 10-10, if not 10-9, something like that, around there.
I'm going.
And I was
to
like, perfect. That's exactly where I wanted it to be.
Nice.
cook.
What are you fermenting in these days?
What's up, DeGrunge?
Buckets. I still do
Nice.
buckets.
I'm gonna be
Oh,
honest,
man.
I don't really like beer that much.
Do you still have the plastic one? The one that I had?
Yeah, I'm still on plastic buckets.
The chubby
There you go, nice.
Anvil chubby? We had an Anvil chubby.
I'm using the Brewer's Best, I think. It's what like literally the most generic ones you get from the brew store, like the brewing homebrew stores is what I'm using. And then plastic spigots on them as well. And
So it's like a white bucket where you can actually kind of somewhat see the volume line, or
yeah, you can see the volume line and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And it has volume line markers on there too,
okay, yeah.
which is actually really nice because the markers on the inside of my kettle of my claw hammer are not correct.
Dude, me too. Same.
Okay. I wasn't too sure if it was only me or so.
No, same
Or-
on my system too. Yeah.
They,
You have a
they
claw hammer?
updated it. The new
no.
systems have like etched markings, but mine is like not etched, or I don't know. Like the new ones are like raised. I don't know if you've seen
The
that.
raised, mine are etched.
Same, yeah.
Okay, so you have the older style then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always got
Yeah.
so pissed because I buy my water like from the store, and then I bring it home and I'm like, did they not give me enough water at the store? Like it's. But then I realized,
Because okay, so I use like the actual preset, like I buy by the gallon, like
Yeah.
at HEB, and I'll put 6 gallons, and I'm like, that ain't matching up with 6 gallon. Don't match on
Yeah.
6 gallon at all.
Right. do you have a measuring stick? Is that what I see? You
Yeah, I was gonna tell Alias like, so this is what I mean, and it's off. Like on my system, the notches I have
Those
to
numbers
like
are off. Yeah.
yeah, visually I always like adjust because I know it's
Yeah.
a certain amount.
But
off,
now, like, I know, like, okay, so 6 gallons is it's half a gallon off my whole system,
That's what.
and
mine
so
is
I'm like,
too, yeah.
okay, just do the math in my own head.
for me, it's about a quarter of a gallon.
Quarter
Yeah.
gallon. Okay, that's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Mine's about close to a half a gallon off.
It
almost
does
half a
suck though
gallon.
because every batch I have to like, all right, yeah, it's ish.
Ish.
You know?
Yeah.
it's this ish. Like I don't know, it's that ish. Like it's always a little bit. Like I don't know, I'm fucking like visually making a determination, and I don't know, it's not perfect, but who cares? It's not that big of a deal. Like I think early on when you're getting into this, you like overanalyze this shit,
Back off
and
what
then you
child
eventually
series.
you're like, it's really not that big of a factor, I guess. I don't know.
That is so true, man. Like I feel like I only take measurements for the video, so I can say in the video, this is what my original
Right,
gravity.
because you're giving out recipes, you're
I don't take
instructing
measurements
folks. Like,
even with the video.
because when you even when like I cook, right? I don't really take measurements of what I'm doing. I just like eyeball it most of the time.
Yeah.
But then my girlfriend was like, "Oh, can you give me the recipe for this?" I'm like, "Oh shit! Now I gotta measure shit. Now I need to write down numbers and whatnot." Because I'm like,
can't measure love, dude.
I'm
Can't
telling you
measure
guys,
the love that you put into it.
I'm telling
Yeah,
you guys,
right?
the only thing you really need to measure is your sour beers, because I love sour stuff. All he has
when it
is
comes
not-
to pH, yeah,
yes. Other than that, like all he has,
Yeah.
we brewed that beer and I sent it to you. I liked it. It was too sour for you. I needed to put in
Yes.
more pineapple. I needed to
It
buy
was.
another one of those.
I was like, I could do like a half pint of this, and that's it.
Right.
Like,
So
I'm
like,
okay
very
with that.
sorry, yeah.
yeah. So when the sour craze was going crazy in 2018, you probably weren't even a part of that, right? 7 years ago.
No, I didn't start brewing till 2019, 2020. Yeah, 2019 is when I
Okay.
started doing my first home brewing.
But the whole thing, like remember like before it was kettle sour, people were actually like doing lactobacillus,
The
and
lactobacillus
barrel aged,
sours,
but it would take like
yeah.
a year.
Yeah.
That was sour ass beer.
Yeah,
Flanders.
Yeah, no, I avoided sours when I like got into into like craft beer, I just couldn't do them. I loved IPAs. Like I loved IPAs,
West
and I
Coast.
loved. Um, I think the Indian Brown Ale was probably one of my favorite beers for the longest time.
Indian brown ale, just a hoppy brown.
Yeah, Dogfish Head.
Oh, okay. Where are they at? They were the boys back in the day.
We're doing canned cocktails now.
So yeah,
Yeah.
well, here's the
They're
thing.
they're following Cutwater.
What bugs me about them is they were like innovators. They're like, look, we're trying shit, and now they're they couldn't be further from that.
Well,
I'm
no,
sorry.
we
In my-
talked
that's
we
my
talked about it
opinion.
earlier, man. They're probably making a ton more money off this stuff. This is
Well, no,
not-
Dogfish Head's actually kind of hurting. So because they align themselves with Sam Adams.
Boston beer.
Yeah, Boston Beer. Yeah, yeah.
They're
So
the
like,
same with
and they're
Truly or whatever.
from what I heard, they're still not doing too good. So I could see why they're like, not willing to take chances like they once were.
Dude,
But yeah, they were all about like, we're gonna do like, they were like adding pork products to beer. They were doing crazy
What?
shit.
They'd be like, we
Scrap-
found this yeast in like a pot in Africa, and now we're
Yeah,
gonna
Midas
make beer."
Touch. Yep. Yeah,
is
like
it kosher?
interesting stuff. That's what kind of made a name for themselves. They were like willing to do that shit, and then
Dude,
then they
that-
became like,
That day
we
is
make
so over.
Dogfish Head 60-minute. Buy it.
That was
Yeah.
their Sculpin. It was the 60-minute IPA. That was their
That's their
Stone
best seller for
Green
sure. Yeah.
one. Okay.
Which one? The 60-minute IPA?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's their bread and butter. And then they made that like little tart beer thing. That one was really good too. The sea salt
salt.
beer.
Yeah,
Ron
yeah.
Barnes. You got to
Yeah,
make a
That
beer
was pretty
from
good. I like
Really
that one.
good.
Yeah, 6 continents isn't enough. You need to grab a piece of bark from every continent, and then we could put it in there. And
They did that like
Make
the
that video.
Egyptian
that's like
beer. I
a Ren and
remember.
Stimpy video, like
So the water would have to
Log.
be from like ice from the Antarctic, and that's like that ingredient, and then you move on from there. Because what else would you get from the Antarctic?
God.
That's
man.
true. Yeah, get
Other
the
than, like,
ice, melt it.
Yeah. Or unless you're like killing a bear and like, fuck, so, I won't go any further.
It is funny though because I remember like when
Good video idea.
remember like 10 years ago when liquor stores or beer places changed overnight. Like when craft beer carried weight. Like I don't use the word craft beer anymore, but when it did, Dogfish Head was always there. I remember going to my liquor store and it'd be like, it'd go from whatever, Heineken and Pyramid, remember Pyramid brand and Pete's Wicked. And then overnight it was like all these crazy new beers that were craft. It was always Dogfish Head and it was always Green Flash in San Diego.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't see them anymore.
Is
This was
Green Flash
before
even
the-
around? Green Flash is gone, right?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if they're just doing contract brewing.
I think
There's
they
like-
were rebranded. One of their recipes is being brewed by a different company. I read that somewhere. I'd have to look into it again to like refresh my memory, but some of their
else
beers
was
still
around?
exist under a different like name.
Yeah. But Ballast Point too, right? Like
Ballast Point, the Stone. This was like when Stone had
Yeah.
like when you'd go to a liquor store in San Diego 10 years ago, Stone would have like every color. It was a fucking candy bar. It was like
Yeah.
smoked porter was this color, blue was Ruination, the pale ale was red, the green was the West Coast, the signature. It was just a different world, man. That was when like IPAs ran it. And it wasn't called West Coast IPAs then. It was just IPAs. There was no sessions, there was no hazies. And I'll say it to this day, man. The West Coast IPA didn't come from San Diego. It came from Northern California. I remember being in college 22 years ago, and I remember Mendocino County. I remember Racer 5. I remember Eureka. I remember Humboldt. All the beers up there in NorCal were so bitter, man. It was like putting a piece of soap in your mouth. And then, Stone was around then. Stone was clearly around then. Even, the whole conversation with, what's the Russian River story? Like they're from Russian River, but the guy Vince, the guy with the crazy Italian last name, he started in Temecula.
Yeah.
That dude's the man.
Yeah, he's
Warren
amazing.
Cox, man, we got a barrage in the house. Gifted 5 Hoppy Hour memberships. He's gonna bust my dad. We got all the freeloaders in here. What's up, Ronald LaFrance? How are you, bro? Ronald, we've been seeing you, man. We've been watching. We've been keeping eyes on you this whole time.
I have
Nick
to say
Hender,
this.
what's up? Sorry, what's up?
Sorry. My bad.
Thank you, Warren
I-
Cox. Thank you. Much love, Braj. Cheers. MK Brews. Couple silent but deadlies.
Wow.
All right, what you got?
Well, I was just gonna say, when the technique of putting a nail through your barrel so that you can take samples is named after you, you're doing something right.
Yes, I agree
Like
with
that dude, he does sour beers, he does hoppy beers. Like he's an innovator. He's everything he does is gold. Like, I don't. Unfortunately, I'm not like available to get his beer, but
Cheers,
I've
Warren.
had it
Much
in
love,
some
Raj.
tap rooms, and thankfully, Zach Pearson has sent me some of his beers. So fucking good, dude. Like,
Eight Man. Shout out
Top
to Eight
notch.
Man. Night,
anyways, I'll shut up.
Patrick. Cheers, man. No, you're fine. That's a double chuck for that. I got questions for the brew show. I got 2 questions for the brew show.
Oh boy.
I've got a question for all of you guys, everybody in the chat too. But I've got 2 questions for the brew show because I kind of know Gnomes and I kind of know Alias, as we talked about this one night. But Trent,
Yeah.
4 commercial breweries. To me, they're typically outside of like the last 10 years of beer. Who's on your Mount Rushmore? So, mine are Deschutes, Sierra Nevada, Russian River, and Pizza Port or Port Brewing.
Yeah, I got to put Sierra Nevada on that list, and I got to put Pizza Port, or
Really?
Port Brewing on that. Yeah, I mean,
We call it
anytime they-
Pizza Port. We call it Pizza Port, but if you see it in circulation, it's just Port Brewing.
yeah. Then it
Damn,
becomes really hard.
What about
Then it
like the Chicago vibes, or what about?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, I guess maybe I'll throw a Lagunitas on there.
Dude, we're going all California. Okay.
I like Lagunitas IPA.
That's a tough one. Then number 4.
Mine's Deschutes.
Deschutes is amazing, and that is a good choice for sure.
And it's also good tasting, but like what carries a lot of weight for me, it's nostalgic. Like that's what like 10 years ago, not even 10, maybe like 7 or 8 years ago, like me and Maury were drinking those, and then we tried to like clone them, and then we would try to like drink them side by side. It was just a really good time in my life with, and then I visited them and it was awesome. It's just, I love Deschutes. Beer Quaz Nation, Coors, Deschutes, Lincoln Googles, Goose Island. Love to hear it. Chris Vodka, give me 4. He's going to be like Zima.
4 beers?
Bud Light. I'm
May,
just kidding.
may I mention one, which is funny because now I can't stand them, but Stone.
Dude,
Stone IPA.
Yeah.
Stone.
Stone was awesome when it was awesome, and then it like just
That's a good point. Yeah.
Well, there's a point we're all missing too about the Stone thing. And my buddy Greg, good guy Greg, the 7-year-old guy that we hang out with, Trent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice and Ron Jeremy had a kid.
is that the dude with the silver white hair with like kind of like longish?
Never
Or no?
been pissed off. You could be like, "Hey, Greg, I hate you. Get out of my house." He'd be like, "Wow, like
That's
that's a
amazing.
crazy thing you just said." One of the raddest dudes on planet Earth, and he brought up a good point. He was like, Stone gets shit on this and that, and they only really get shit on because one of their owners, Greg Koch, put it himself in front of the camera too much. Like if he just never would have been like,
Yeah.
"We're not going to sell out. We're not like Ballast Point, Hookers and Blow, this and that." If he just shut the fuck up better, kind of what I'm worried about with Nate from Treehouse. It's like they say like content is king. It's like, no, it's not. It is not. Sometimes silence is king. Sometimes, not putting your face on the internet.
Let the beer and the vibes do the talking.
Yeah. But what people do not realize is that Stone distribution made it so many jobs and so much exposure for like a lot of San Diego breweries to get out there that could have never done that without Stone. Because people don't realize that Stone distribution is a monster. Not as big as, the top guys, but they're bigger than Carl Strauss. So the deal is like, hey, they're going to take their 30% just like everybody else, but they're going to get it to way more places than you could in your truck or your car and your van by far. And of course they didn't do it for free, but they had a good business and, a clean distribution model that was ripping. And you know what? Let's pull that up. Let's see which brands they still do. And I just thought that was a really good point that my friend Greg or our friend Greg brought up was that the exposure that it brought to competitors, other brands. Hey, you can compete with us. We're going to take a cut, but we'll get you there, and we're going to get you there consistently. Stone Brewing.
I thought on my fort.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on you. So you've got Lagunitas, Sierra Nevada Port,
Modelo.
Hey now.
I feel like anytime I'm at a Mexican restaurant, I'm getting a fucking Modelo.
This is why
Dude,
I don't
so
call it craft beer anymore.
Yeah,
'Cause I
nor
lo-
should I don't know.
'cause
I
I
have
lo-
my thoughts.
But come on. Modelo killing it harder than everybody, especially after the Bud Light, the fucking idiots that botched that PR department. Hey, call it craft beer all you want. Modelo,
It's a delicious beer, by the way.
No,
like
but-
that has to be said as well. Like it's a great beer.
But you don't think that Modelo and Corona and all these guys that are just killing it, they're like, call yourselves whatever. Yeah, you're craft beer. We're not. You're above us. We're gonna be around forever. We have people with jobs all over the world, with 401ks, with health insurance. Like, call yourself craft beer, because craft beer means like, above the, the aristocratic thing. You call yourselves craft beer.
But the definition is so watered down now that it means nothing.
It means nothing
And,
at all. It means nothing at all. Craft napkins, craft tap water.
Dude, craft beer means absolute. Like I've talked about this before, and maybe
Okay,
I know people don't agree with that, but it doesn't mean shit anymore.
It doesn't mean shit anymore. And the people that still call it craft beer, I think that they're out of touch. I don't. Zool has never called anything craft beer. They've never used that.
Independent? Do they call it independent beer?
They call it cocktail inspired.
Oh.
But they don't call it anything.
Beer.
Hey, Gnome,
Yeah.
Brew Show, click on the link in that and look at who Stone still distributes for. This is a pretty good
I'm surprised to see Arizona drinks. What the fuck?
Arizona iced tea. Stone is ripping, man. As much as shit as we want to talk about Stone, I agree with Brewing Bad. Homebrew is where it's at. The day you decide to sell your beer, yeah. Stone is ripping.
I did not realize they own Russian River as well.
No, this is who they distribute for.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, what?
Well, I mean, in theory, they don't own it, but every time that they move their product, they get 30%.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So 21st Amendment, remember when 21st Amendment was huge? Or they still are. They had the Hell or High Watermelon.
Watermelon?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm surprised most by Alchemist, which is Heady Topper, Focal Banger. So
Yes.
they just are they act probably as a distributor, I would assume. Like they have.
That's all they are.
Where do they distribute? Like Greater Vermont? Like I've never seen it on the West
No.
Coast.
They have the avenues.
They're the
to
connection to the West Coast, I would assume.
Yeah.
Like if you find Heady Topper on the West Coast, it's probably through Stone distribution. That's my guess. I could be off. I have no idea.
No. It's all like Stone Stone has. They get this shit all over the nation now. You guys got to keep in mind the sale of alcohol. There's three things that have to happen, right? There's the manufacturer, there's the middleman, and then there's the retailer. There's got to be three. Who's making the most money? I would say the distributor. I'm not saying they're making the most money, but I think that they're the most recession proof. Getting out, there's always going to be strong alcohol brands. That's bottom line. If you can get those brands, the logistics and, the I-40s coming east and west, like this is a hell of a business model. The guy that's making beer, he might not be around forever. The guy that's got the retail store, the bar, he might not be around forever, but alcohol is always going to have to get moved. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's part of the problem, actually.
What do you mean?
Well, outside of a local brewery.
Let's start a fucking distribution company right now. Let's go rent those. Remember, we all see the Home Depot rental trucks for $19.99 a day. We're going to fucking undercut all the local distributors. Instead of taking 30%, we're going to take 25%. I'm sorry. No, I just interrupted you big time.
Well,
but tell me about the problem.
My point was pretty simple.
But I'm going to interrupt. I'm just kidding.
I'm sorry.
Outside of your local brewery, you have to move your beer logistically. You can't, if you can't sell your beer in your local neighborhood, you have to move it.
Right. Right.
And that's a problem for every brewery.
That's a big problem, and most people don't even know what that problem is. And that problem's probably never going to hit them in the mouth because they're never going to be big enough to move on to that step. But when it does, what are you going to do? Are you going to pay a guy $20 an hour, some guy who's on his phone all day in a company van that can only move 5 kegs around, and you have to pay for his health insurance? No, just let Stone take 30% of that keg. Which sucks.
Put it on to somebody else. Let somebody else deal with that issue.
It sucks because you sell. What are kegs going for now? Like $220, $225. They're gonna take $60 just to move it there. But here's what's gonna happen: they're gonna be consistent, and they're always gonna get that keg that comes back.
Until you steal it.
Until you
make it into a keggle.
A thing that a new thing that I've seen, which is cool, which is very cool. Have you got? I think you probably have to work at a brewery or at a bar to see this, but they're doing commercial plastic kegs that you could throw away now. Have you guys noticed that? It's a collab thing.
Like these?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So they'll do 5 gallons of those, and when it's done, you throw them away.
I've seen that. Yeah. They're popular in Europe. Actually, when I was in Scandinavia, I saw a ton of them.
I've seen it in Britain as well.
Right. So what's better to like have a guy get paid $18 an hour that goes and picks up that keg, you got to go in the back, or just throw it the fuck away. Just take the loss.
Right.
I think just throw it away. Just recycle that plastic. I don't know.
Right back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to know, like, do they not do like buyback programs for those kegs and like find some way to recycle them?
We throw them all away.
Just in the trash? You don't even recycle them?
I don't think there's recycling in Tennessee. Even if there's recycling, only like 2% of it gets to the place. Trent, come on. You know how recycling works. It's not all like...
It's all going to the landfill anyways, yeah.
Right.
You put one non-recyclable thing in there.
Right.
It's done.
Any which way, though, I want to look at Stone's thing. If you guys want to pull that up, there are some giant brands that Stone distributes for. So they get 30% of all moving these guys' beers. We've got Made West, which you know of them from Los Angeles, right? They're a hype brewery. They were huge. Mm-hmm. Modern Times, I don't know how are they good?
They're falling apart, but like people still like them, I guess.
Because of their food?
They're falling apart. Remember they had that whole like...
they were the poster child for the Ragnet Mat.
Yeah. I don't think they've ever recovered from that.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
Time doesn't heal all wounds?
Yeah. They got Best Day Brewing, though. That's a big non-alcoholic company.
June Shine.
And Boochcraft. How do they...
Boochcraft's huge. Boochcraft is fuck. Boochcraft had a satellite tasting room in North Park.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know, North Park, it's like an outskirt of downtown San Diego. Like where me and Trent lived in San Diego, we're in a different country from downtown. San Diego's a couple different cities, but we're North County. We're more closer to like Orange County than we are actually San Diego. But
it's been funny to learn like what people think of North County, San Diego.
Did you even know what North County was before you moved to Oceanside?
I just thought it was San Diego. I didn't think it was like any...
You don't live in San Diego. I didn't live in San Diego.
People love this shit on North County.
They do?
At least people from the like San Diego proper.
For what?
For being like so far out there. I don't know. They cry about whatever.
Yeah, everyone's always talking shit. I don't know what Machu Picchu is. I know what Mother Earth is. They distribute for... Dude, Stone is murdering it. Russian River, Pizza Port, which is both on Trent and I's Mount Rushmores.
Ninkasi in Oregon too.
Ninkasi. I think when Stone sold to Sapporo, I don't think this was involved. I think they kept this separate.
That would be smart.
Well, it's also completely different. Logistics from beer production is...
Well, interesting.
What was Victory's #1 beer? I remember seeing Victory forever.
Didn't they have like a monkey one?
I thought they had a black cat.
Let's see. Ollie, or no, your mics.
Yeah, no, Mike. You got to pay the bills, bro. You got to pay the
Golden
bills.
Monkey.
Oh, I turned my mic down.
I would love to get Jorge on this. I need to get Castro on this, man, because I know that he knows all the beer news and this and that. He knows it faster than Twitter. God, I remember Ninkasi was so big, man. Maui Brewing, they're the ones that bought Modern Times.
Yeah,
Something
right?
happened with
Something like
Maui
that.
Brewing.
Hawaiian.
Yeah. La Crema, that's a huge wine brand. La Crema is
Yeah.
like as big as Turning Leaf. That was always
Right.
as a 90s kid, like Thanksgiving, cheap newspaper, like come in and buy this
Kendall
bullshit.
Jackson too.
What?
Kendall Jackson's a big wine company too.
Yeah, man. I mean, Stone Distribution. Forget the beer, man. Let me move your products around all day. Kendall Jackson's a huge. Kern River? I don't know what GT's is. And then let's look at Carl Strauss.
BT's is kombucha, just like basic kombucha.
Okay, so these are the things, like if you do want to open up a brewery, these are the things you got to like pay attention to. Like who? Okay, let's look at.
Can we be concerned with Alias? He's been gone for a long time.
No,
Probably taking a shower.
Taking a dump.
Okay, so are we still in the chat right here? Okay, so here's Carl Strauss. Here's who moves Booze Brothers beer around. Okay, I'm looking at Booze Brothers right here. Way more local, much smaller brands. No disrespect to Dave and Donnie, who are coming out here in a month. We clash.
Good for them. Good for them for like separating Owl Farm, like making it its own thing.
Oh man, I've got way too much shit I got to talk to them about.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell them how to run their business, and no, I'm kidding. I'm not kidding, but so they've got Black Plague,
Oh Jesus.
which is Tony Hawk's. Okay, so they do have Alfarm. Okay, so Carl Strauss is. Oh, dude, they had Resident. Check it out, Bruce Show. These are my boys.
I've never looked into this, like the distributing side of things. That's interesting.
I'm telling you, man. There's three people that make beer, or there's three people that make money off alcohol: the manufacturer, the distribution person, or the retailer. Who's ever selling it? Who's ever like giving it to the customer?
Hodads. What's the deal with Hodads? What's the story behind?
Well, I'll
Hodads?
tell you, West Brew just went out of business. That was Ben.
Did they really?
Yeah, they fucking blew it.
They had multiple locations too.
Well, they were just money people. I mean, I hate to say that because everyone's a money person. People are like, oh, are they about the
Especially
beer or
Gnome.
are they about the
Gnome's
money?
biggest
It's like,
money person I know.
Who?
Gnome.
No, I know.
Yeah,
It's
dude,
goddamn
fucking
crap.
money.
I've had enough of this goddamn gnome.
What happened?
You got to chill out with your what's the thing called in the fucking greed. I was thinking like my mind's so stupid. I was thinking the Brad Pitt Morgan Freeman movie, like The Sin, Seven Sins, like when you
Oh yeah.
7?
7.
Yeah. What's
7.
in the box?
What's in the box?
yeah, we're all fucking drunk now. But Resident was on this one. I thought Resident was bigger than that, but I guess not. Hodads, I think that's a gimmick. I think they should have never put Hodads on a beer label. That was a dumb move. For those who don't know what we're talking about, Hodads is a very, not like famous place, but it's a very territorial burger joint in San Diego. But like, does it always roll over to putting the burger joint logo on a beer? I don't think so.
How's that shit, Alias?
Are you punching your clown? What
good.
happened?
No, a buddy of mine's in town. He was picking up stuff from some car parts to fix for me,
Nice.
and so gave him a little tour of the garage of where the Mustang's at and how that progress is going. I'm doing a whole refresh on my race car.
You should have
And-
pulled a CH and brought him on stream. Unexpected.
He's
No other way.
in the bathroom. I can drag him. But yeah,
Nah, we
we
don't need it.
celebrated his birthday and another buddy's birthday 2 weeks ago down in
Nice.
Corpus, and we had a private track day, and so
Cook.
took the race cars out, and so now my next event's in April, so I'm trying to do a full refresh on the car and get it nice and pretty. Do a whole got new bumpers, gonna get the wide body kit, and then do a fresh new paint job.
I
Nice.
have a
Ice
confession to
cream.
make.
Ice cream paint job.
I'm trying to do something with a lot of flake in it, and I'm trying to do either like a bright red or a darker red. You can come on the stream.
Oh,
It's
there
my
we
buddy
go.
Taylor.
There we go.
Oh, I thought it was Jorge Castro. Get this guy out of here. I'm just kidding, man. What's up, dude?
What is this for?
Hold on. Let me change the audio.
Jorge, you got to come on, man. Everything moves every year. That's what. No,
Yep.
10 years ago, craft meant another thing. Now, I agree with you now. Like, it means nothing at all. It means it's almost like a red flag. It almost just went full circle, right? Like, Brew Show, shouldn't we just open up like a breakfast joint at this point? You know, like what? Let's just sell food and bring the kids in without setting up like a $300,000 beer system. What's up, Wade? What's up, Raj? What's going on, everyone? Hey, what's up, man? I'm CH Knoxville, San Diego. We got Gnome up there and Crazy Bostonville. And then the Brew Show from Chicago and LA down to San Diego.
What's going on?
Transplant City. We're just a bunch of
Yeah, we're touching all parts of the country right now, aren't we?
Yes.
We are.
All right.
We got
So,
what?
all right.
East,
I got
West, South.
what's the 4 statues? White, rich guys, Mount Rushmore's from the Brew Show. Yes, that part. We're doing good. Mhm.
The guy who mounted my TV did it too high, and I'm like, fucking hate it.
But I do have a question for all y'all. And I don't know who wants to take this first or second or third or fourth, or anybody in the chat. But I was thinking about today, what's the best batch of beer that you brewed? And do you remember it? Do you remember like the year? Do you remember what system it was on? Do you like, for me, I know vividly, and I'll talk about it last, which means I'll probably talk about it first and still interrupt all your stories and talk about it even more. But I was thinking about like, if I did want to like turn this into maybe monetizing this and think this was a thing, this would be the one. Do you guys have that?
I have 2 beers that I think would fit that.
Sure.
My British IPA is probably like one of my favorite. It was like the first beer that I was like, damn, this one is really good.
So not even like this is going to sell or not. Like this is just a good beer. You're not even thinking about
It
like
was just a solid beer, and I had made it for my birthday back in like 2021, and I was like this, and I was still doing like on the stove, and I was kind of getting into water chemistry and all of that. Like it was just the first time I had really done like water chemistry and really taking like my measurements, my timings as best as I could. And I was just like, this one, it was just so memorable. I was like, every year for my birthday, I'm making this beer. And then the second one is my summer wheat ale. And because I had made like a clone of a local beer, and I kind of made some twists to it, made it a bit more citrusy, a bit more hoppy, and every event I have, it always gets kicked. Like every event, it gets kicked, and so that one would be like the
kegged
one
or
I
kicked.
Kicked. Like, well, the keg gets kicked. Like I had, like it's always that 5 gallons has gone fast, very fast.
Right.
For that beer, and
Which
that
is
would
a
be
hell
like
of
the
a
one that I
compliment.
would want to. I was like, this is the one I could sell or like build the business around or something like that. Yeah, I think those 2 would be my top 2 beers that I loved and will continue to enjoy.
Nice.
All right.
How about you, Brucho?
There is one beer that I brewed early on. It's a West Coast IPA, and it was all inspired off of like space. So I used like Apollo hops and Galaxy hops.
But that's just
And
branding. Okay.
Well, no, but the beer itself turned out amazing, and I always thought like if I opened a brewery, this would be like my West Coast IPA because I was so happy with how it turned out.
Okay.
So that makes it actually kind of extra cool because like your launching point was forced in a way, but it actually the result was awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, I know, yeah.
your parameters were limited because you're trying to like make this like galaxy themed or whatever the hell you're I don't know how you worded it. Astronomy? What'd you say?
It's like space themed, yeah.
Space themed, okay. But that's very cool.
Yeah. It was for like a 420 beer actually. It was like I was trying to make it like I think I put CBD in the final beer as well. So
Nice.
Which could be a whole new trend that could take off way more than the actual hops that you're putting into it. I mean,
that's true. Yeah.
like,
But like it's like your house beer, like is like a beer that I thought was super solid. That would definitely be one of them.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Where you at, Noam?
Well, for me, like
forget the whole like making money off it. Like the best beer you were the most proud of.
For me, it was the barrel aged rum stout that I made.
Rum stout?
It was a rum barrel. It was a barrel aged stout with coconut, cacao, and it was like I sent you a couple bottles actually. I think I sent Aliaz one or
remember
two.
that.
Yep.
Dude,
I remember that.
And,
that's when I had a
so
fucking
good.
panic attack at work the next day. I almost fucking had to hold on to the handing rail when I was taking a shit. I swear to God.
Oh.
What?
I remember
That's hilarious.
That was the last house.
To me, that was my best beer. But like, yeah, originally it was like to sell, and like that would never like reach, fit those parameters. But like, that's hilarious.
Some of that.
Love it.
Be right back. Pour this man a beer.
All right, cool. What about you, CH?
Yeah, thank you. All right.
You've just been waiting. Patient, dude. You're so patient.
I've been quiet all night until now. I'm telling you, man, it was the hazy IPA, and I did make a video of this. And it's tough to think because I don't brew that much anymore. And in all fairness, I'm probably only going to brew. I'll probably ferment 10 things this year, but 2 of them will be in 5-gallon format, and that's with the brew show and our ginger beer, and that's going to be on YouTube. But it's weird to. And I love that, Noam's got a YouTube channel and Trent's got a YouTube channel because I do look back and I think about like, wow, like, fuck, I forgot about that. This is a beer I didn't forget about. This was a beer I forgot about. And it wasn't my recipe, surprise, surprise. It was the Bent Gate Norway guys. And they shot me, it was a hazy IPA, and they shot me just way too much shit. Way too much, like we have a 1-day dry hop, a 2-day, a 3-day, a 4-day, 7-day. And I was like, I'm going to dummy it down. And all I really remembered was that Blake from Craft Coast, and you're going to know that Trent, Craft Coast, they're killing it. They read the room. That's a brewery that read the room. They hit the ground running with tacos. And Trent, I don't think I've been there with you, but I'm sure you've been there.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. About that.
And I think that the
sliders work on there too.
Blake, he's a good dude. He's a good dude. He's good enough. As far as like I talked about earlier about like brewery owners that can't read the room. That dude read the room. And it was the hazy. And I remember drinking that and I was thinking like, I could tell this is so good. I could lie to people. I could tell them that this is Treehouse, or I could tell them that this is, Heady Topper or Focal Banger, all the biggest punchers. And as soon as I poured it into a glass and I took the label away, I'm a firm believer I could have got away with that. I could have gotten away with that. It was that good. And it wasn't my recipe. I just stuck to it. And it like Aliaz, it was in plastic buckets. It wasn't in a $700 fermenter. It wasn't in, it was my magnetic, my bullshit, no oxygen dry hop things that I do.
I love that. I like that. I've stolen that,
dude. And I want to make a video about that again, even though I've made the video, but I do as a YouTuber.
Have you done like a YouTube short on that?
No, but you read my mind. You read my mind. Like I'm gonna be like, this is the best beer of all time, but I'll make it funny. Oh, this is the best beer of all time tribute, and then show Jack Black or something.
There you go. There
Remember
you
their
go.
remember their song, like this is the best song of all time. Actually, we don't even know what that is, but like it's a tribute, like do something
The
like
tribute
that.
to the greatest song of all time.
But what I do know is that I've brewed probably 8 to 12 gallon batches of beer since I moved to Knoxville, Tennessee, and I've been here a little over 2 years now. And that was the one 5-gallon batch of beer that I drank all by myself. Maybe I had a couple friends over. But I poured out the PB&J. I poured out. I sent you guys the sour beer. No, Maliage, you got the sour beer.
Yep.
Thank God that those glass bottles didn't break because you never know what the fuck is going on when you.
Oh yeah, you sent us to us in glass. Yeah.
Sent you guys in glass. I had no other form, and I don't have
Right.
the cannular. I don't have the the October. The October with the K. That. What do? They do Crowleys
or
Crowlers.
Bruce. Do you guys have a canning machine?
I don't know.
I'm surprised you don't. I figured you might have
Emmett!
hopped on that
Emmett.
sooner rather than later.
Hey, we
Just
got
take some
Clawhammer in the
space.
house.
It takes too
Oh,
much
nice.
space to hold the empty cans. I don't have the space for it, but someday.
It's not like you can stack them inside of each other kind of thing.
Yeah.
Emmett, show your face. Emmett's my favorite fucking person. What happened to Emmett? Oh, he went in under the Clawhammer supply one instead. He deleted it.
He changed the
Clawhammer,
account.
hey, shout out to those broads out there in New Zealand time. I think they're like, when does the day go forward or when is it behind us? Like, where do the time zones cut off? Because they're not in our time zone. Something's fucking
They're
crazy.
like
No.
a day. They're a day ahead, right, or something.
I think they're
Probably
yeah,
morning there.
Oh yeah. Someone
Like
okay.
7 a.m. or something.
Everybody in here, try to guess what time it is. Where Emmett and Kyle and
7
Charlie.
a.m. is my guess.
7 a.m. tomorrow
Actually,
or
8 a.m.
yesterday.
Tomorrow, 8 a.m. tomorrow.
So the only
I'm gonna
thing
guess
that's really
10
behind
a.m.
us is
tomorrow.
what, like Hawaii, aside from like
yeah,
the West Coast.
So they're 14 hours ahead of us. 14
Even
or
more
15
than
hours
that.
ahead of us.
So it's 10 a.m.
So they know
Wait,
the
what?
future.
Oh, that's what
They
I
know the
said.
future, man.
So-
Tell me who's going to win the Super Bowl.
What time is it now? I don't even know.
My time it's 10:30.
So it'd be-
No, we're on this. Me and Noam are the only people here on the same time zone.
Right.
It's 7:30 your time.
10:30.
So it'd be. I think they
We're going
are
live. Charles in charge. The man, the myth, the brunch.
Like a-
4:30 p.m.
30. We weren't even close.
So are they in
Whoa,
January?
that's
More
like
than 14
way ahead.
hours. It is 20 hours.
Charlie,
Holy
can you
shit.
hear me? Can you hear me? Is it January 30th or January 29th? Can you hear me?
Wait, no, it's less than.
Blink twice if you're in there.
Wait, it's less than 14 hours.
I
'Cause
like
I know
how they
Japan
logged
is
on.
14 hours for me.
They logged on
Damn,
right
the
after
crew is
4:20.
in there.
That's funny.
We got some shit we got to talk, man.
I guess Japan's further.
CH has a delivery incoming, man. We'd love to see it. We'd love to see it, man. Tell Jesse from Still It, hey, much love. I haven't seen him in a couple of years. Missed that barrage, man. I hope. I think they're out there in Auckland. Am I saying that right?
Auckland?
Auckland.
Auckland. The Brew Show knows all. He corrects me. He's my real life.
I've been there. I went there last year.
He was
It
just
sweet.
there.
Have you been there too?
Yeah, it was awesome. I
The
didn't. I
Brew
should have
Show-
hit up Jesse. I didn't though.
Yeah, why didn't you?
should've. I don't know. I dropped the ball. That's what.
Well,
I
not
did.
only that, Brew Show, but you could actually distill it out there. I think we could still distill in America and kind of get away with it, even though you're playing with
just talk about
fire.
it.
But if we're like push came to shove and the FBI
You
did
just do it
shove,
under the radar, right? That's the
But
whole
we should
thing.
call out. We
I
should
don't
call
know
out
if there's under the
Kyle.
radar when you're live on the internet.
We need to
Well,
call
yeah.
out Kyle right now because he did that whole
I'm gonna
distilling
call Kyle
video.
right now. I'm gonna call Kyle right now.
Well, no, he did that whole distilling video, the freeze distilling.
Oh yeah,
Call that?
the prison liquor kind of thing.
And then
yeah.
he didn't even take a sip. He was too scared to take a sip. What's up with
He
that?
bitched out.
Oh.
All right, we're gonna make it real.
Shots fired?
Shots are always
Shots
fired.
fired, Kyle. Come at me.
Shots have never been more fired. Not only are we gonna call him, we're gonna FaceTime him. Where's the FaceTime? Okay, here we go.
I've always wanted to do the freeze distilling though. I've never done that. You could do it. You know him in your basement.
Well,
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
Well.
Oh, look how the cookie crumbles.
That's
A
funny.
tale as old as time. Here we go. We got an 8-way collab. Look at this. This is incredible.
Wow.
Hello.
Damn.
Dial them in if your internet can handle it.
I know. It's gonna cut out now. It's all gonna lag. How are you, brother? Jesse, what's up, man? How are you, man? Good to see you.
That's
How's it going
cool.
out there? Yeah, fuck yeah. How are these guys
Oh, yeah.
treating you?
Is your buddy homebrew as well?
No, he drinks my homebrew.
Dude, I'm getting two
Nice.
things crossfired, but I'm kind of pissed you
He's,
guys didn't
we're
invite me
race
out,
car
but I'll be
buddies,
there on the
so-
next one.
We know each other from drifting and all that.
They're all watching our stream. Everyone do something crazy. Take off your shirt, Dom. Show us your dick. What's up, Charlie? There he is.
Nice.
Hey,
Yeah.
ooh, I like that red hat. Damn, that's sick.
How come
I
Kyle didn't
need
drink
me
the
one of
Applejack?
those.
That's a real question. Yeah, we'll get the answers.
They're making Applejack right now.
Oh, they had to wait
Ooh.
till they get to New Zealand. Okay.
Nice.
That's awesome.
He's got the ankle tattoo. He can't take it off, or else the FBI is going to show up.
They're all
Hey.
getting matching tattoos.
Hey, good to see you guys. Charlie, good to see you. Hey, I'm going to let you guys go. You guys have a good one. Kyle, good seeing you. Emmett, I love you. Bye, Braj. This is goodbye time. All right. Clawhammer guys are watching, man. We got to do some crazy shit. We got to chug some beers. Big shout out to everybody out there in Auckland. Jesse's the man. What we're trying to figure out is how to get the brew show out here.
Yeah, dude. I know.
Well, you've been on the
Oh,
Clawhammer system
Knoxville?
or Asheville.
Both.
Asheville. Yeah. I still haven't been to Asheville with you guys.
That's wild. How come Gnome has been to Asheville, but you haven't?
Me?
Because you guys went when I had my barbecue comp.
That's happened a
Yeah.
couple times.
Yeah. Because it's
No.
like the time where you guys open up or like for your travels, and it's like March is like usually the worst month for me to do anything. Because like I'm booked usually between a race event as well as like barbecue Austin. Luckily the race event's been moved to April, which gives me more time to refresh the car, but I still have the barbecue event in March. So if anybody wants to come out to Austin, March 7th and 8th is Barbecue Austin. Plenty of barbecue, plenty of beers. I might brew for that event. We'll see. So if you want to try Brown Men Brewing homebrews, like come on out. I think it's like $20 for entry, and all the food and beer is free. Like,
Okay.
Nice.
and if there's donation buckets, if you want to donate, all the money goes to
Me?
the school districts and to scholarships for
something
kids.
real. God damn it.
Yeah, it actually goes to something real. It's part of the Rodeo Austin Foundation that it all goes back to the schools and stuff like that to help them.
No, I'm kidding. That's
But-
good. That's good.
It's a really cool event, and it's kind of this kickoff for the rodeo, and it's literally some of the best cooks in all of Texas, even outside of Texas, that come out and compete, and they're all serving. A lot of them are serving food and beers and stuff like that too. So
I've been doing
they're really fun time, and it's family friendly. Lots of live, like if you love live music, that's the place to be for sure.
I'm down for that. I want to come back. I'm definitely down for shout out to Golden Hive Mead. I've never been to Chicago. I've never been to Wisconsin. That's Trent's hood. That's Charlie's hood. Let's drink an NBC. I'm going to chug a beer. I really want to chug a beer. But let's figure out,
down.
like, if we were all really... Trent, can you drink a beer? I know you're a little under the weather.
I gotta get one more. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to get like 4 more. But, like, what's a good place that we could meet up? I think Knoxville's cool. I think Asheville's cool, but it's small. Like, you guys know. Or, I mean...
Yeah, but I mean, it's what you do with it, right? Like,
Yeah,
who
it's
cares
not-
if it's big or
That's the
small?
size
Like,
of
That's a
the
good
boat.
point,
It's
yeah.
small
the
stuff is
motion
nice
here.
because then like Ubers are cheap. It's easy to get around.
Oh yeah, it's
and
way
whatnot.
different. Yeah, Knoxville wins that department. Knoxville's even better than Asheville as far as like.
Oh, really? Okay.
Well, I mean,
What's-
Well, 'cause I
Ash-
know Asheville has that whole like street where everything's on there,
there's
right?
like 10 of those streets. Knoxville has like 1.5.
Yeah.
But you know, like you're Austin, I'm San Diego. We have to have cars. Like I think my average Uber
Yeah.
driver in
You have
San
to have
Diego.
a car in Texas.
Oh, dude,
for
my
sure.
my average. I would love to come to Denver. I would love to come back to Florida too. But my average Uber driver in San Diego, or my average Uber thing, was probably like $44. In Knoxville, it's like $6. In Asheville, it's like $8, which is no difference in my world.
That's about the same.
Okay, I'm gonna
yeah.
get a couple more beers. Hold on, we're gonna chug a beer. No one leave. No one leave. Charlie,
All right.
don't even. Charlie, we've talked about this. Don't leave. Be right back.
Did he just hit the NBC?
I
Or is
think
he
we're
just leaving
about
us?
to once he gets back.
I think when he gets back, I need to fill up a little bit more if I'm doing an NBC. This is a bit on the low side.
I got nothing. I gotta go get something too.
I gotta be
Alright.
honest. I'm not even comfortable doing this much.
What beer is that?
Well, it's a great beer. Don't get me wrong, but it's not something I want to like chug. But I
Is it a
will.
stout?
No. Check dark.
Oh,
Modern-
nice.
So basically, it's like
Yeah.
Alexander, a little different with some dark malts, but which, by the way, I
Yeah.
forgot I had more. I just poured the
Dude,
rest.
good to
This
see
is
you, man.
dangerous.
It's been a bit.
It is great to see you as well, man. Yeah, it has been a while. I don't know.
But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Beard's looking as peckable as possible. Love it.
Yeah, I haven't really trimmed it
Haven't
at
done
all
much,
down
right?
here, but
Yeah, that's good. Your
it's.
birthday's coming up, right? February, right?
Oh, thank you for reminding me, my friend.
Right? It's February, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's like less than a month, and I'm gonna be 42, which sucks balls. But
You make
it
it
is
look
what it
good,
is.
dude.
It does suck.
Well,
Anyways,
I'll drink to that. I just turned 31, what, 2 days ago? What, yesterday? No, yesterday was my birthday.
oh yeah, I meant. Oh, see, dude, I feel like such an ass because I was like, remember to bring that up, and I totally forgot. And then you brought it up, so it's all void. It doesn't mean shit anymore. But happy birthday, dude! I'm
Thank
so
you.
sorry, man.
It's all good.
31.
31 now, yeah,
31.
31.
See, and you didn't tell me that, but I knew.
Yeah, no, you're
So,
good. You're good. I know because we're like I think I'm like what 10 years younger than CH. You're 11 years younger than you, and
Yeah.
like that's kind of like uh how I've been able to keep up with y'all's ages and stuff like that. And because you guys are the same ages as like my two cousins, two brothers, my cousins in Calgary. So I was like, oh, you guys have literally like same years as them. And then, but it was because we've always like in the past we've talked about generational stuff um and because like CH would be like, well, I'm 10 years older than you, so how's this work? And I was like, well, pretty much the same as you guys. Is that not a twist off, CH?
I don't know. We're past that. I have you guys ever done the thing where you open up a beer with your teeth? I saw a buddy in high school that did it.
Not with my teeth.
Yeah, I saw a buddy in high school. I think I could do it. I think it's all mental at this point. But I saw
Yeah,
a
your
buddy
teeth
that,
are way stronger than you think they are.
No, but I had a buddy that had to get 12 stitches on his gums trying to do it, and I was like, dude, I don't know, man.
Your gums aren't as strong as that, though.
I remember a dude in high
Your teeth
school.
are, but your
that
gums
would,
are not. Because your teeth
But
are
if
like,
if you even miss with like that's like the pressure of that could fuck you up, man. That could.
What about people that do with their rings? People always doing that with their rings. That always, I don't know.
I love seeing that. I thought I like, well, there's some rings that have like the bottle opener in them, right? Like, so
right.
they have the slit, so it makes it easy. But there are some people who just do it like, but
Yeah,
Oh, I've seen a guy
I mean,
take
I
a
can use
sandal
a
off of
lighter.
that.
I can use like utensils and stuff like that. Oh, shit,
40 years old here. All right.
Oh, new beer.
Which one was the cider?
I got a special beer I'm going to crack after this.
Yeah, it was in the little
Oh,
one. That's the one that
hell
brought
yeah,
the
dude.
What's his name?
Who can chug
gonna go
beers
there?
fast
Yeah, I
enough?
didn't move it over because I'm trying to. sell that one.
Sparger. What's up, Sparger?
Are you gonna crack that special beer, CH?
I don't know.
Yeah, you got
man.
a Coors.
I don't know. Well, every beer's special when I'm hanging out with you guys, but
Oh,
Oh,
this guy.
show us your
This
dick.
guy.
You.
That's funny,
I've got a
but also
couple.
true.
Who's
Also
all?
true.
Hey, really quick. Who's heard of Wandering Monsters? They're at a lot of big beer fests, and they ship
are they
these
from?
to.
Is it a brewery or is it the name of the
well,
beer?
You guys are gonna know about as much as
Oh,
me.
it's awesome.
Yeah, it's like a
Wisconsin.
Minecraft vibe.
Wandering Monsters. That's a cool little. I like that. It's cute.
But it's called a Wisconsin ale, which means nothing because it's not like TTB. It's called Bossy. Cincinnati. Cincinnati. Yeah, but these guys are everywhere. These guys are.
What makes? Now I'm curious. Like, what's a Wisconsin ale?
That's what I'm saying. I think you could just call it anything.
I think it's like
we could call it a barrage ale.
spotted cow. I'm guessing it's like a
Oh,
spotted
like
cow.
spotted
reference.
cow. Yeah.
Alright,
That's a
alright.
Wisconsin beer.
All right, we'll try it after this. Really quick, let's make a wager. We're gonna chug a beer. Who's gonna win this?
You.
Yeah, yeah.
I already lost.
Dude, you literally have the lightest beer out of all of us.
I don't think that's gonna matter, but you're right.
Yeah, I can't.
It
chug
does.
I'll
And
take
then
a nice-
second of all,
All right, hold on. Let's
you're
do a beer chug.
the chugging champion out of all of us, anyways.
Yeah.
Hey, man, you got to work with what you got, man. Jod graced me. You know, he built me a little bit different.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Should
you're
we
good at
drink?
taking
Okay,
things down
here's
your
the thing.
throat.
Here's the thing. Should we drink it on the stream, or should I hit the button and then we just drink it off stream?
Button.
All right, here
we
we go.
haven't had the button in so long.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Everybody, whatever you got in front of you, there's like a wedding toast, but bigger. It's the barrages.
The
Bruce,
barrages.
Bruce Show, what do you got? Gnomeski?
I got-
All right, here we go.
What?
3,
I'm gonna
2,
lose.
1. Let's cook.
Just say it.
Killed it.
Oh damn.
What?
You two are pretty close.
I'm sorry, I was born different.
Yeah.
We got through like 2 seconds of that. Yeah. Where is Ja? He's under the sofa.
Ja Rule.
But I would really love to have Jorge Castro on. He's a barrage
Grab
engineer
the piano bench.
that owns a brewery. Who else in here owns a brewery? Anybody in the chat? Austin Maddox, what's up, Braj? I'm gonna be drunk.
I will be after this. That's for damn sure.
Well, that's good. It's fine. The best part about this fucking night is no one's got to drive. That's the best part about this night.
Well,
Someone
I'm not
just-
at home.
Hey, someone just did a thumbs up thing. Do it again. Oh yeah, Trent, do it. Do a thumbs up.
There you go.
Oh.
There we go.
Look at this guy. Who's
He's
this
got
guy?
special effects.
He's got the
Bruce.
Does it do anything? What about
What's
this?
up to Bruce? Okay, how are you doing that?
Fuck yeah.
It's not even your stream. How the fuck are you doing this, you goddamn
What does
magician?
this do?
Is this the sword and the stone sorcerer? What's going on?
Oh.
I don't get it.
There we go.
He's got it.
I don't like it.
Why is there balloons?
This thing's racist.
Oh, what's this do?
Oh, peace. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go in,
Oh, we got fireworks too.
and I'm gonna be straight up.
Ollie,
All
are
right.
you on a Mac?
Yeah.
Me too. I think it's a Mac thing.
Wait, did Alias just do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see.
I
some
had
fireworks.
the fireworks and everything too.
Oh, damn, Sam. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, ladies and girls, we're going into Cincinnati, Ohio territory with the Wandering Monsters, and I just showed it before, and I do not know what a Wisconsin.
You know what that label reminds me of is Homestar Runner. Homestar
It's
Runner,
definitely
remember
ripped
that?
off from some. Yeah.
For me, I would, which this is gonna get nerdy, but it's a video game, Among Us.
Yeah,
I was
it does
gonna
look
almost
like
go
that,
with
yeah.
Did you guys play?
Because like the thick border
Yeah.
around